top down, riding down Main. It's a clear night, screens glowing blue. Got the facts in my headlights. Commonwealth tripping, but the truth stay calm. 𝗺𝗍 and 𝗟𝗟, I'ma read them like Psalms. KP throwing shade from a broke down porch, but the files in my lap like a flame to a torch. I don't raise my voice, I just let the game speak. Steady with the grind while the crooked run weak. We just riding slow, gliding, paper stacking in the breeze. Turn the system up, let the whole town see. No mask on my face, no fear in my lane. I'ma shine that light on the ones bringing shame. From the courtrooms down to the city blocks. They can't hide from the truth, cause the truth don't stop. We just ride a slow grind. Midnight oil burning, pen hit the pad slow. Every word cut clean like the rims on the 6-4. From Boston to Brockton, the whispers all hum. Turtleboys riding in the reckoning gon' come. 𝗟𝗟 in the back room, 𝗺𝗍 on the phone. Trying to twist the narrative, but they can't postpone. I'm just sipping on the facts while the city play pretend. Truth got no curfew, I'ma run it to the end. See, this ain't about fame, this about that long game. You can duck, you can weave, but the truth still call your name. We just riding slow, gliding, paper stacking in the breeze. Turn the system up, let the whole town see. No mask on my face, no fear in my lane. I'ma shine that light on the ones bringing shame. From the courtrooms down to the city blocks. They can't hide from the truth, cause the truth don't stop. We just riding slow, gliding. We just riding slow, gliding, paper stacking in the breeze. Turn the system up, let the whole town see. No mask on my face, no fear in my lane. I'ma shine that light on the ones bringing shame. From the courtrooms down to the city blocks. They can't hide from the truth, cause the truth don't stop. We just riding slow, guys. We just call hoes down to the city blocks. We just riding slow, guys.
Welcome to the weekend live show.
508 is where I'm from.
We run down the biggest stories of the week with you every Saturday night. Let us know in the comments right now where you reppin'.
𝗵𝗵 Junction, Taunton, Worcester, Long Island, Manchard, South Florida, Webster, Malden, Framingham, Tucson, 𝗺𝗿𝗂𝗺𝗺, Salem, Gloucester, Moosop, Connecticut, Charleston, South Carolina, Roslindale, Moosop, Connecticut, London, Hanson, Glendale, Arizona, Lynn, Mapleville, Quincy.
Food stamps, leave your clothes, buddy, and
hey, you a funny ass guy, man.
Have you ever heard of Turtleboy? Yeah? Are you a fan?
508 is where I'm from.
Hey, what's up?
508 is where I'm from.
How was that?
You a freaking idiot. Stop telling people that I'm mentally deranged and stupid.
Call me Aidan. He's more a doctor, but...
Get out of my store, please.
You're a fucking loser.
You are a loser.
You're not a journalist. You're nobody.
You're not turtle hair. Don't make such fun of the criminal justice system.
NFL on the house, blog out.
Let's get this party started.
Yo, can you guys hear me okay? All right, what's up, everybody? How's everyone doing out there tonight? Good? Good, excellent. Welcome to the live show, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Aidan Kearney. I'm your fearless host here. Call me a variety of nicknames, up to and including 𝗵𝗵 Kearney. That's my true crime name. When I put my leather jacket on in the woods and I'm deep in my thoughts out there, you can call me Journalism Jesus. That's my spiritual name. You can call me Uncle Turtleboy. Just a lot of people just call me Turtleboy. I prefer Dr. Turtleboy because if Judd Welch is a doctor, then I'm definitely a doctor. You can call me Turtle Dove if you'd like. You can call me Daddy. I know for some people that might be weird, but for others that might be flirtatious, fun, playful, sexy, or all of the above. You call me different kind of daddy: crowd daddy, theater daddy, media daddy, saint daddy, and of course fridge daddy. Although I fix other appliances now too. You just got to shake them. But you got to have the daddy touch for that. But I don't care what you call me. Just be here every Tuesday and Saturday night at 9 p.m. sharp. And make sure you smash that subscribe button. You know what I forgot? I always forget something. I got to get a charger for my computer. Hold on. My computer's going to die. Hold on. All right, we go. Where did they go? There we go. All right, we're good. So, technical difficulty daddy too, if you'd like. I don't care what you call me. Just be here every Tuesday, Saturday night, and smash that subscribe button for me. All right, hook it up. Now, I just got word, apparently, that you guys watched that game today. Saw Denver. Buffalo blew it again. And what a good day for the Patriots, baby. I mean, you couldn't have, with that game, I was debating into that game. I'm like going into that game, like, who do we want? If we win. I'm not looking ahead at all because Houston's a real tough team and a good, neat defense, all that shit. Okay. But we're home. If we win, okay, if we win, who do we want in the next round? That was the debate. Do you want to go to Denver or home against Buffalo? Normally you'd pick home, right? You'd pick home, but it's a special circumstance because it's like, well, Josh Allen's Josh Allen, MVP. He's, experienced in the playoffs, never won the big one because Pat Mahomes is always there and he's not there this year. And, he just beaten us at home this year recently. Do we want that smoke, or do we want to go Denver? Denver's, I feel like, not as strong, but it's in Denver. So, like, which one do you want? And then, so this great game happens today, back and forth. And, Denver takes the lead, and then they get down there. And, excellent. Nice to see you, next witness. I always like to do this. I'm a diehard Texans fan. Ooh, wow. Okay. I didn't know those existed. But how do I get out of this? How do I do that? Nope. Cancel. Hold on. Anyway, so they had this back and forth. I think Denver took the lead by 3 with like a minute to go. Josh Allen drove down the field, got a field goal, tied it up, going to overtime. Both teams have the ball. Neither scores. Then Denver has a big, I think they have they had a turnover, and they end up getting a field goal. They win the game. Okay. 24-yard field goal. And then immediately afterwards, as you guys might have seen in the chat, wow. I mean, Broncos coach Sean Payton just announced that Bo Nix, the quarterback for the Broncos, has a broken bone in his ankle and is out for the season. Can you believe our luck? I mean, what? I don't even know who their backup is. Zach Wilson. Who's the backup quarterback? Let me see. Backup quarterback, Broncos. Jarrett Stidham. Former Patriot backup. Jarrett Stidham is, wow. Unbelievable. Wow. So whoever wins this, I mean, that changes everything because Bo Nix is good. He's not, I don't think he's ready to win the whole thing yet, but he's pretty good. And how does this change the odds now? So I'm like looking at this because I got to see the odds now for whoever wins this Patriot Texan game tomorrow is immediately going to be the favorite to go to the Super Bowl, even though they're going to have to go into Denver and win because you're going against Jarrett Stidham. Okay. Backup quarterback, War Eagle, Auburn reject. So they had 2 Auburn quarterbacks on the same team. That's interesting. All right. So Super Bowl odds now. Denver just went to plus 1,200. They are the wow. And it looks like, San Francisco's plus 5,500. So I guess they're losing by a lot right now. Seattle looks good. So New England is now plus 410. and the Texans are plus 700. And so odds to win the conference, New England is plus 120. We are the favorites now, followed by Denver at plus 195 and the Texans at plus 240, right? So, yeah, that's crazy. The odds just changed tremendously as a result of that. So this is it. If we win this game tomorrow, we're going to be heavy favorites to go back to the Super Bowl. Because of this Bo Nix injury. I thought we could have beat the Broncos with Bo Nix, but Jarrett Stidham, no chance. No chance. We're not losing to Jarrett Stidham. Stop it. This is it. So we win tomorrow, we're going to the Super Bowl. How the fuck did that happen? I just wanted to make the playoffs. That's all I wanted. I just wanted to make the playoffs. I'm like, that would have been, if we went 9-8, I would have been like, that's a good season. Definitely progress. We were 4-13 the last 2 years. I'll take 9-8, baby steps, getting there. 10-7. Ooh, give me 10-7. Ooh, I'll be a happy turtle if you do that. 14-3, Super Bowl. Whoa. So anyway, I'll definitely be having some sort of, maybe we'll have a live stream for the second half. I don't know. My son's here. We're going to have the dog over again tomorrow. So, my friend with the dog. So we'll be doing that. And, all right, cool. Grant Smith Ellis is on the Cranton Chronicle. I mean, Grant is making the rounds. Grant is becoming very popular in circles because he has seen the light. He has seen the light, and he is on the side of good now. It's never too late. So apparently his mother attempting to evict him from his house was the wake-up call that he needed. And he realized his mother was allies with Michael Proctor, I guess. I don't know what's happening there, but it's a long story. So we'll get into it. We'll get all into it tonight. So anyway, if you guys want to have your messages read out loud to the class, please click on the link at the top for something called Turtle Chat. When you do that, you can pay whatever you want, say whatever you want, and I'll read your message out loud to the class, when that happens. And let's see, I'm just trying to see on the Twitch. Wow, this is crazy. I can't believe this Bo Nix thing. That's wild news, man. Okay. All right. So anyway, what day is today? The 17th or the 16th? Yeah. All right. Anyway, let's see if we have any right now. Let's see what we got here. Don't forget to smash that subscribe button for me too. A lot of people forget to do that. Okay, let's see what we have here. Today is this. Give me one sec. Everything on Twitter right now is about Bo Nix. It's like crazy. I didn't even know he got hurt. Was he playing with the broken foot the whole time? All right. Here we go. The 17th. Okay, we got some turtle chats here. $100 from Josephine Peralta, starting us off right. Woo! Thanks, Josephine. Josephine was the young lady who was harassed by, harassed kind of like Chris Albert was like on what she parked outside his pizza shop and she wrote FKR on her window, and Chris Albert was like in the pizza shop filming himself going, "Oh, what a loser, like mocking her and shit." So thank you. Appreciate that. Letter O for better O. I appreciate that very much. Okay. Anyway, what was I going to say? He broke it on a kneel down. No, he did not. Tell me he did not break it on a kneel. Tell me he didn't do that. Tell me he did not break it on a kneel down. That is fucking crazy if true. That is crazy. So, yeah, Josephine Peralta says, quote, "Save the turtle. National Geographic scam refund. My bad." I don't get it. Save the turtle, National Geographic scam refund. My bad. All right. Thank you. $100, another $100, starting us off right. From Janine, sends $50 and goes, "I am donating $50 for each of these two songs I am kindly asking you to play. They are from the account on Twitter called Fervent, which also made the fuck you Hank song. The second and third songs, We Believe and Hoss Long, are my favorites. Although you were mentioned in the first song, it would be great to send them some love. All right, I'll check out this one. I'll play this one real quick. You send me $100, so I could play your song. So which one am I playing here? I'm playing We Believe and Hoss Long. Okay, I'll play this one. Let me play the We Believe. I'll start with this one. You paid $100. You can play a song.
We believe that we can unlock an iPhone with our ass. We believe that medical science is a bunch of crap. We believe that Sir Isaac Newton doesn't know shit about physics.
Wait, hold on. Yeah, is this copyright or is this like AI? I need to know. Is this the AI thing? Oh, and the Cash App, by the way, is $ Uncle Turtleboy. Let me know in the chat what I'm supposed to do here. It's AI, so I can play it. Okay, good. Sounds like AI. Okay, cool. I just want to make sure the chat would know.
Celebrate sometimes makes up timestamps, but still is the best in the business. We believe that it is acceptable to rehome your family pet of 7 years. We believe that when we are harassed, that's the only time we shed real tears. We believe that we love John O'Keefe, but our group chat showed no compassion. We believe that sometimes you slip on ice and land on your knuckles. Don't you hate when that happens? We believe in providing law enforcement with specific text strings that make us look good and then destroying the ever-loving shit out of our phones. I'm not done. And then taking that destroyed phone and dumping it on a military base. Totally normal. We believe in manipulating people when they are most vulnerable. We believe we have to tell each other what to say to Channel 4, even though it's supposedly the truth. We believe that you're dumb enough to believe that John's injuries came from an SUV. We believe that if we put a billboard up, we can shift the narrative and point the finger back at the woman who was acquitted twice. We believe in disgracing the memory of a law enforcement officer and turning his tragic death into the biggest spectacle. Now shut up, look the other way, and give us money. Sincerely yours, the House Defendant.
Okay, so we'll watch this one. This is the other one they want us to watch. We'll watch that in a little bit. I like it. I still like Fuck You, Hank. That one's like more catchy. So I like that one more. But appreciate that. Thank you. All right, next turtle chat here is Angela sends $5, goes, "Hi, Turtleboy. Could you give a shout out to Skip? He is doing 365 days of isolation for a health and mental journey. He is in the chat tonight. What does that mean, isolation? If you're watching this, what are you isolated from? He would make for a great interview. Please follow him and I'll follow him right now, at the Isolation Year, live streaming 24/7, 365. Love my Turtleboy." Let me see if I can find this guy on the Twitch what. Yeah, I don't see anyone. So by that handle. So you sent me the wrong handle. So sorry. Okay. Next, Auntie Chrissy sends $10, goes, "Drama free for you and me. Stay focused." Yes. Drama free does not mean I won't address facts, but I certainly will refrain from, everyone's like, skip. Well, everybody knows. You're allowed to talk about facts. You're allowed to talk about people. You're allowed to talk about, it's just like you're allowed to talk about things happening, but you just have to refrain from getting in the gutter and wasting too much time on it. Why is the chat liking Skip so much? Who the fuck is Skip? No offense to Skip. living in isolation, but everyone's like, hey, Skip, am I not in on something here? Whoa. Okay, you're Skip. Oh, Skip's here. Okay. Okay, Skip. Wait, is he the guy that called into... Was he on Machado's the other night? Was he the guy on that? Okay. All right, I'll check him out. Thank you. Next. Angel sends $10 and goes, there is only one Turtleboy. No one can fill your shoes, as we saw last night. Love you and free Turtleboy. I don't know if we want to go there. I have some thoughts on that, but I'm going to keep it respectful, right? Professional and drama-free. And I've thought about how I'm going to address this too, in the most drama-free, respectful, and kind of like above it way possible. Like I'm trying very, very hard. This is a bad time to be drama-free. There's a lot of temptation out there. You know, it's like being sex-free, and then you just, you know, take them to, you know, say, can't jerk off for a week, and then we're going to a strip club. You know, it's like, come on, dude, come on. Stop it. Stop it. But I'm trying my best here. Angie sends $5 and goes, hey, Aidan, I was glad to see you in the chat last night for the Karen fundraiser, despite the shit show it was. Could you please give a shout out to my older daughter, Rylena, and son, Javen or Havin? I don't know if it's a soft J. They are 19 and 20, who just moved up here to Idaho and got their first intro to Turtleboy this past week. Never too late. You were talking about your skills for fixing appliances. Do not talk to them about that. And we're very confused at why I was laughing so hard. I hope you had a good week. Thanks, Angie. We got $20 here from Kimberly. Says, you do not deserve how those other YouTubers are treating you. My God. So they all care so much about corruption, yet they exclude you and your case from everything. Yeah, excluding me is understandable, I guess. Excluding the case, though, it's like, how will you not? That's the part I don't get. Like, we're just pretending my case isn't happening, and like that corruption is like right in front of you guys because you don't like, because you're mad at the defendant. That seems not principled. You know what I mean? Like unprincipled. Like if you, okay, fine. You don't like me. Put me aside. You don't have to like Karen. It's the principle. It's the principle of the matter. Like you're allowed to ask the McAlberts questions. Like I remember the McAlberts. Remember how much we don't like them? They're like the bad guys. They killed John O'Keefe. And I, you know, talked to them and they said that's like a crime when I do that. But it's not really a crime at all. So yeah. Okay. Yeah. Anyway, let me see what we have here. Hold on. All right. Next. No, it kept going. Sorry. They kept going. My God. They all care so much about corruption, yet they exclude your case. What the fuck? It's a very bad look for them. I felt so sad seeing them all on Karen Reed's fundraiser without you. Oh, don't feel bad for me. You should be included and celebrated. No. You did so much for her. John O'Keefe and corruption. They look like morons by ignoring you now. Not cool. Jealous children is how they come across. It's really hard to watch. Thanks for all you've done for the corruption. You should be being supported by them all right now. The intelligent professionals know it. It's just these low-class, jealous losers jumping on someone when they are down. You don't deserve after how hard you work for years and years and years. You know, I'm not down. That's the thing about it is I'm fine. Like I'm good. Like being mature and above it is not being down. You know what I mean? But, you know, so let's talk about real quick yesterday. So the day began, or sometime in the afternoon, some woman from Switzerland did a Twitter Spaces. It came up on my thing. Will was on it, and he was ranting about something. He was going at it with the lady. And then they started talking about 𝗪𝐿𝐶 Fitzsimmons. It was actually a good conversation about an important case. And then, but the woman from Switzerland was like big and like she's a Turtle Club member, I guess. And she's been messaging me for weeks now about like, how I want to cancel my Turtle Club membership. Yeah, you can just cancel it. You don't need to tell me. I don't do it for you. You cancel your own membership. I'm not your mama. I'm not doing that. So you can just go ahead. Like we have a whole thing that explain. It's really easy to cancel it. People cancel all the time. People get new ones all the time. Anyway, so it was like Will was on there, and then all of a sudden, our old pals there, JFK and James Jackson, were on there, and they started getting into a discussion about things that have been litigated or talked about like 4 months ago that are just very old topics. Okay. We know what that's about. We don't need to get into that. But it was actually listening to them talk. I'm like, oh, this is actually, they're being cordial, right? And somewhat productive. Like 𝗿𝗫 is a very reasonable person when you talk to him, and JFK can be at times as well. And so like they were being cordial, and I'm like, and then all of a sudden they were arguing over something, but it was like respectful. And then the lady hosting it just jumped in and just canceled it. And she just muted everyone. And everyone was like, well, what do you do? She's like, I don't like this on my channel. I don't like the arguing. It's no good. It's no good. It's not good. And everyone else is like, what? We thought it was good. And you can't have a discussion that many people want to hear run by some random, wait, cordial again? Did I pronounce it all? Cordial. That's the word. Cordial, whatever. Stop it, cordial. Okay. That's how it's spelled, isn't it? Oh, fuck you guys. Anyway, so the woman was like, I don't like this on my spaces. I like peace. I don't like this. Meanwhile, her whole thing's about drama. But anyway, so I made a comment. I'm like, oh, that was actually going somewhere. And I was inspired by that. And I'm like, you know what? Someone was like, I would like to mediate on my channel, like talk you, JFK, James Jackson, and Will. And I'm like, I would do it, just I'm not for public consumption. If those guys want to have a private conversation as men, and we can just talk it over and go back, I'll answer whatever questions you guys want to answer, have answered, and do that. I'm like, yeah, I would do that. And so I set up a group text afterwards, and I proposed the idea, and they didn't respond. So, that's all you can do. Everyone was like, don't do it. Don't do it. It's not going to happen anyway. So no worries. You know what I mean? I don't like whatever. It's fine. So anyway, so then later on, there was the Karen Reed fundraiser at, what did it start at 7:00? And it was run on various channels, including this new channel, which is dope. The Reed Files, which is run by the Roccos, who are lovely. And I like the Roccos. Okay. I do. I have no problem with them. I don't have any problem with them, to be very clear. They are not shit stirs. They are like Nick, especially, is kind of viewed as, he's close to Karen, so we don't hear from Karen often. So sometimes when Nick speaks, people assume that he's speaking on behalf of Karen. I've thought of that before, but until I hear from her, nobody speaks for her. Like that's my new policy moving forward. Right. Like, no one that just foul out of pocket shit constantly. I don't know who we're talking about here, but anyway, I don't care. I don't want any problems with anybody. I just want to like get along. You know what I mean? So, because it's just life is too short, and I'm trying to like unite people here, and it's easier said than done. I get it. It is easier said than done. Here I am being like the uniter, and it's just not. I'm not good at uniting. I'm good at like I'm good at being myself and like outlandish and all that stuff, but not so much at I guess uniting. I'm trying though. I am giving it a shot. I've been over 30 days now, drama free. Anyway, so they had their fundraiser last night, and it was on the Reed Files and then on 2 other smaller channels for content creators who kind of like were former supporters of mine, but no longer are. And that's fine. And I guess they had some good guests on, and one of them was 𝗺𝗵𝗃𝗺, who, if you guys know 𝗺𝗵𝗃𝗺, is a radio legend who had me on his show every single day during both trials covering the Karen Reed case. Hold on. Can I have this here? Try and download these real quick. All right. I'm just trying to pull this up real quick. 1, 2, 3, and 4. I think that's it. Nope, wrong one. There we go. Okay. I got it loaded up now. So anyway, so they have this panel on there, and it was a good panel. Like there was 𝗵𝗂𝗧𝗧 was on there. Ian Runkle came on at one point. Carl Steinbeck, Andrew Myers. Those are all attorneys. A couple boots on the ground came later on. Boston Brandy. Who else was on there? And then, you know, JFK's whole crew came on, and, you know, we had Jay Brill was there. So thank God. So, cause there's no movement without that guy. So that guy's awesome. Very insightful. And, you know, it was an interesting panel. And, you know, I was in the chat, as you guys saw. Peter Murphy, of course, we love Peter Murphy, don't we? DJ was there. Boston Bia was there. You know, it was a BLT was there for a little bit. Nick Rocco came on. And Mr. Reed, of course. Mr. Reed came on for 5 minutes. And, you know, again, I'm just reporting on what, because this is what everyone's talking about today. When I go on Twitter, it is what everyone is talking about today. And I feel like if I just pretend it's not happening at all, I'm being like the Sweeneys were on there. Yeah. If I pretend like it's just not happening, and I'm not relapsing, Jimmy, this is not a relapse. Although we might call the next show with the Wilbur the relapse, but that this is not the relapse. Okay. And that will not be happening tonight. But, you know, it's what everyone is talking about. And my whole thing, I'm in the chat, and I was watching the funds come in, and they raised a couple $1,000. After 2 hours, they had raised like, I don't know, $3,000 or $4,000. And that's good. That's definitely good. You know, I mean, I shared it on Twitter and raised like $3,000, but it was good. And I'm like, okay, I'm trying to unify people here. This is how I look at this. I'm like, unify. So I'm like, okay, how can we unify people around this? And I'm in the chat over on the read files, and I'm noticing all of these people in there with turtle emojis and stuff like that. Okay. And everybody, it wasn't me saying this. I did not direct anyone. I have not fed into this, to be very clear. But people are loyal to me, and people appreciate me. And so I can't help that. Okay. That is a loyalty and a fan base that I have cultivated, right, through my hard work and determination and, you know, dedication to this cause, etc. So I go in the chat, and there's all these people like turtles and emojis, and why isn't Turtleboy on there, and all this stuff. And that's not unity. You know, I don't like seeing that. I'm about unity. So I'm like, okay. So I'm like, well, let's get, who can we get on here? You know, who can we get on? Like, I'm like, well, how can I get the crowd kind of riled up? How can I get my people to support this? Because the people in the chat that didn't like me were like, hey, why don't you do something about this, Turtleboy? Get your people in line. I'm like, okay, well, I know what can spice this up a bit. What if I go on the panel? You know, why don't I know how to, because here's the problem. A lot of people have been told by certain content creators who shall not be named that you can either support one or the other. That if you support Turtleboy, then you're not allowed, that Bill Reed hates you. I think that was the exact quote. That was not true, like at all. That was completely fake news. And so that's not cool. I'm about raising money for Karen Reed. And because there's no justice for John O'Keefe without justice for Karen Reed, right? So we got to get the funds up. We got to help raise money for Karen Read. It's a 2-for-1 because these depositions with like Jen McCabe and stuff like that, theoretically, my trial, if it happens, isn't scheduled till December. And any deposition of Jennifer McCabe or any of these clowns can only help. So I go in the chat and I'm like, let's start building some energy here. You know, it was like, let's go. And so I said, let's get this party started. I will pledge right now $1,000 to the Karen Read Civil Defense Fund. And I will raise, if you put me up on the panel, I will do that. And then I will get the crowd fired up and we will get $5,000 raised. Because a lot of people who support me, unfortunately, are hesitant to donate to this because they feel like the people who are speaking for Karen or who claim to be speaking for Karen, like the host, who shall not be named, who's telling them that the Read family hates you, that's not uniting. You know, that's not cool. So this is not drama, right? I haven't gone there, chat. I've stayed drama free. Let me know. Or I'm trying to address this, right? So like my thing is I want to raise help as any way I can because I have I'm not stupid. I have influence. You know what I mean? People listen to me. People follow my lead. So I want this out there. You know, I want to help as much as possible. And so I'm like, well, if I get on there and I'm like, yeah, guys, like united front, let's go. Come on, let's get the funds up. That's what I'm good at. Energizing a crowd. I mean, look at the picture behind me. This is what I'm really, really good at. Right. So I want to put my skills, you know, to good use. Hold on. So I want to put my skills like to good use and, you know, let's do it. And of course, this makes people upset because nothing I do, you know, I try to unite people and makes them upset. I divide them and makes them upset. And there's just nothing you can do to please these people. And I just don't care. I don't care. Okay. And there's a lot of people like Karen doesn't want to talk to you. You don't talk for her. Okay. How do you know I don't talk to Karen? You don't know anything. You don't talk for her. Okay. She will talk for herself when she wants to talk for herself. Okay. That's it. And so I'm like, let's go. You know, let's go. And obviously the invitation was not extended. And as the night evolved more and more and more, it got, you know, ugly. Like it got like towards the end, there was one, let's see. Yeah. Like, and to be very clear, I want to be very clear about this too. Like, because there was a lot of people like Jenna and why aren't you letting Nick? Why aren't you letting Turtleboy on the panel? It wasn't theirs. They were just hosting it and streaming it from this Read file channel because they're trying to build up the hours. You have to have like a certain amount of streaming hours on YouTube in order to get monetized and shit like that. And obviously, this is a way for them to kind of get monetized and make money. And so, like the Roccos and like the Read files were not the people who ran the channel. And they have taken their stream down, their version of it. I haven't asked why, but I can assume it's because things got ugly at the end, unfortunately, right around the time of starting Sex Cult. And that is what everybody, unfortunately, is talking about today, right? It was like they did end up raising 10 grand, which is good. They got like a $3,000 or $4,000 donation suddenly out of somebody sent that in. And I'm like, okay, that's cool, you know? But I would like to set up, and Nurse Kim got the ball rolling on this one today with her post that said, I mean, let me find Nurse Kim's awesome, real cool tweet today about this that I responded to. This was it. Hold on. So Nurse Kim says, I'm in anytime, to a tweet that says, I would love to see a fundraiser for Karen led by intelligent, creative, fun creators who are knowledgeable about the case and can have smart and engaging conversations. And she says, Melanie Little, Nurse Kim, Broken Baker, Turtleboy, The Expert, Defense Diaries, Andrea Burkhart, Auntie Deb, Emily C, Marbury versus Madison, Mazza Media. I mean, those are big names. Those are really cool names. And that would be great. And definitely boots on the ground. You got to have boots on the ground in there too, because we can't forget them. That's what was cool about my fundraiser last time was the boots on the ground factor. There's a whole bunch of them. And the people that are like boots on the ground, the people protesting outside. But you also, like, you want everything. Oh, Melanin Little's in the chat. Love to see it. And I'm down, and I'm like, I'm game. I'm in. Because, you know, no secret, when this first happened, I'm like, I wasn't a big fan of it at first because there was no like explanation of it about like what is the need for this. And so, yeah, I did my whole intervention stream because it wasn't going well and the reaction to it was not good. So like the intervention stream that I did was more like, that came from a place of love, believe it or not. Like I've been over this before, and Brother Council, it would be great to have him there. That came from a place of love, and Better Up too, of course. Like, did he get the invite yesterday? Like, I mean, these are big names who have been involved in this movement. Like, they should have got the invite instead of, I mean, as I appreciate, you know, the sacrifices and contributions of 𝗵𝗲𝗺𝗺. I do, but not to the exclusion of other people, unfortunately. So, and I just think that could bring in more revenue for Karen, because this is about Karen, right? We're fighting for Karen Read. In doing so, we're fighting for justice for John O'Keefe, right? Because that's what I'm all about, right? Is building justice for those people. And I think you get some big names in there. That's how you can do it. And I like the sounds of this. So I'm down. I was critical of this before, but that was only because I was like, I just didn't like the rollout of it, you know? And I thought that like it was getting killed by the McAlbert fraudulent fund. And I'm like, you can do better than this. And so I had some criticisms about how it could be better, period. And I do think that what happened last night, and I don't think this is a minority take. I don't think this is like drama at all. But I think that the Reed family deserved better. That's what I thought. And John O'Keefe deserved better. Then this is a really serious thing. Like somebody was murdered, right? Somebody was murdered, and the people that killed him got away with it. And an innocent woman is being sued after already being acquitted twice. And so she's also suing them and is looking for answers. And that is a worthy cause. Okay. In my opinion. Oh yeah. Sam, but yeah, we need to put together a nice fucking panel and do this right. Right. No drama, just all positivity. The glare obviously will have like, it'll be great. And so you want to put together a good panel of people to do this. And I just thought the Reed family deserved better. I think there's a certain amount of respect that you should bring because this is a really serious topic and it requires a certain amount of decorum and sobriety and seriousness. You know, like you could joke around, have a little fun, but it was like, I felt uncomfortable at times. And I think, or other people said that they felt, you know, uncomfortable with it. And let me see if I can find this here. Like, because I saw these, like I go on my Twitter feed today and it's all drama. Let's just take a look at my Twitter feed real quick and show you what's on it. And because this is kind of an indication of how it went. And if I go on my Twitter feed and all I see is drama, you know, so the young Jork has privated his Twitter account, so I can't share his tweets. I wasn't planning on doing it anyway. That's fine. And I go on here and it's like, all I see is drama, right? It's like, this is an indicator that something's being lost here. Like the big takeaway of this should be justice for John O'Keefe and justice for Karen Read. That should be the big takeaway. It's like, what a good night for Karen. You know, if the takeaway is all this, then something has gone wrong. You know what I mean? And that's what I'm about, is like fixing this. All right. This is what new improved, you know, and what's this one? Like, let's see.
A fair number of dead.
So this was Ian Runkle. So this is Sir Ian Runkle, everyone's emotional support Canadian. And, you know, it was great that Runkle was on there. He's a big name. He's got 300,000 followers, subscribers on He's a funny guy too on YouTube. And this was, I don't know, this is a clip that someone shared.
Yeah.
And it's Runkle of the Bailey is the YouTube channel that you stream on and you do videos.
Yeah.
Perfect. How many you're at like hundreds of thousands of subs? How do you even keep track of it? Do you know how many subs you have right now?
Somewhere over 300,000, but a lot of those I think are I've got a fair number of dead subs just because like the Johnny Depp trial and so forth. People follow for something and then they stop following. But
dead subs. I've never heard that term. Dead subs.
It goes up or it goes down. That's kind of how that is. And I just
good attitude there, Uncle. I like it.
You just keep trying to make content.
That's the key right there. Do what you love, make your content. Everything else will take care of itself.
Thank you.
300,000 subs though shows, to me, it shows some success in the past at least. That's always what I look at. It's like, doesn't mean you're killing it now, but it means you were at one point because you got 300,000 subs. So that's very impressive. And you cover whatever you want. You cover guns. I know you do a lot of gun stuff, but you also have those charity fundraisers that you do. You raised like, I don't know how much money on the last one. It was amazing. I was watching you guys raffle off. You had the best co-host doing it. It's funny as hell, but you guys really do a good job. Like, it's amazing.
It's important, I think, to try to give back because they vanish. But at the end of the day, if I get hit by a bus, tomorrow, not any of the rest of it. So
there was one where he said something about Yannetti that caught people's attention. Oh, that's me on there. I'm on there right now. Okay. Emily C, buckle up. Oh, there goes Jimmy. Jimmy's fired up about something. Oh, there's Grant. Grant is on the Canton Chronicles. Love to see it. There was one clip I was looking for where they talk about Yannetti's opening. I forget what it was. Let me see if I can find it. I think this is it. Okay.
Hi.
So this is when Bill Reed came on. So again, that was a big hat. Like getting Bill Reed on there is big. That's very cool that he came on there. And this is what happened.
Mr. Reed, can I ask you a question? Are you wearing your gold chain tonight over that turtleneck? Is that your gold chain?
He's always styling.
Yeah.
I think it's just the shirt neckline.
Yes, I do. Oh, let me plug this in.
All right, I'll just pull mine out. Now I can pull mine out.
All right, let me sit there. Yeah.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah, here we go.
Mr. Reed,
I love it.
Looking fabulous tonight, sir.
He is looking good.
Look at you. I'm happy.
Yeah, here we go.
There you go.
Here we go.
There you go.
Lady,
God first.
Yes.
God first.
Carl Steinbeck's got an interesting demeanor there.
I have a couple of questions.
And then his like camera stopped working shortly after that.
Mr. Reed, can I say?
It's again, I just have a lot of respect for the Reed family. I just think there's a certain amount of it was a little uncomfortable, and he is a very religious person, so anyway, I don't want to dwell on that too much. It's just a shame that like the night after a positive event, I go on Twitter and all I see is negativity. And that's the big takeaway. So when we do our fundraiser for Karen Reed, there will be no negativity. There will be only positivity. There will be no bashing or anything. It will all be about the case. And I just have a lot of people that have like good ideas. And so I'm going to put a poll question in the chat right now about like, should I do a fundraiser for Karen Reed? Like, do you guys, and because obviously I have my own legal issues and that are very expensive. And I have a really big hearing coming up on Friday at 9 a.m. And I hope to see a lot of you guys there. It's Suffolk Superior Courtroom, 808. But Karen's case is important too. And I'm not going to forget this. I'm going to say, should I organize a fundraiser for Karen Reed Civil Defense Fund? What do you guys say? What does the chat say? I put this up on Twitter and it was 60-40 yes. Let's see what it is on YouTube. Let's see what people say on YouTube. Okay. We have 539 votes in. We have 5,547 people watching right now. 700 votes in, and it is 74% for yes. That's a good start. Now, I would say, goal 25,000. That would be the goal. Like, let's because again, it's not just about Karen. It's about John O'Keefe. It's about beating the McAlberts. They should not be outraising anyone. And it's like John O'Keefe deserves better than what we saw last night. He does, period. And it's about also about helping my case. Even though this is not a fundraiser for me, Karen Reed's case can help my case, period. So that is something I would like and I would encourage. And, again, Karen Reed and I are rowing in the same direction. We're going in the same direction. And, we both deserve, better than that. I mean, it's just like, it wasn't cool. I just didn't, I'm not going to share too many opinions because that's drama when you do that. But I just think that, we both deserve better than that. Okay. So let's see. Maybe we can revisit some of that later, but for now I'm going to read the next turtle chat. But yeah, think of some cool guests you'd like to have and like how we could set that up. It's going to take tonight won't be a petty stream. It needs to be talked about, and tonight won't be a petty stream. It needs to be talked about, and everyone deserves to hear it, but it won't be a petty stream. Okay. Billy Bush would be a great guest. I need time to put together an all-star panel here and have one fuck of a fundraiser. I miss that. I miss those days. And we did because I saw here, I'm going to be honest, I was sad to see some of these because I love 𝗵𝗄𝐶 and she is the most non-controversial person on the internet. She's adorable. Everybody loves 𝗵𝗄𝐶. She's so nice. Kind of new to the scene, and she's funny and talented and a great person to have on your side. And she is being attacked. What did she do to anyone? What did Jimmy say? Opinions aren't drama. Fucking these people are annoying. I know, Jimmy. It's it's just my opinion. It's just my opinion. That we deserve better. Karen Reed deserves better. So this is some tweets saying $10,000 raised. That's great. I love $10,000. $10,000 is nothing to poo-poo. It is a significant amount of money. She says here, Megan says, Nurse Kim, Will, Jess, Rathouse, Jimmy, Andrea, Brother Council, yes, Baker, Sam Benigno, yeah. Billy Bush, Mark Bettero, 𝗵𝗄𝐶, John Como, Boozy Beauty, BOTJ, why am I? Boots on the ground, right, okay. Lawyer, that's a big one. Howie. I don't think Lawyer, would do a fundraiser, but maybe Loophole Lawyer, Can I pin the turtle chat, please? Somebody's texting me. Isn't it pinned? Yeah, turtle chat is pinned. Yeah, turtle chat's pinned. Okay. Anyway, so 70. And so this is what it says here. $10,000 raised. Thank you to all our guests and supporters. Fuck the cult gang and cult leader. I think that's me. I think I'm the cult leader. I think that's what they call me. And that's just unfortunate because it's this is not, again, Karen Reed deserves better than this. That's all I've said. This is not a shot at anyone. She deserves better than this. This isn't helpful, And what do we have here? Astro, something called Astro, who is just kind of crapping on Emily. Says, hey, Emily, the drama was in the Read Files chat, disrespecting her fundraiser and panel. I mean, we weren't doing that. The enemies were there's no enemies. I don't like words like that. Who is this person? And why are they in charge of anything? What's an Astro? You know what I mean? I don't remember seeing her outside the courthouse. I don't remember seeing her on any overpasses or anything like that. Stop trying to force yourselves on Karen when she's moved on. See, this is the thing, Astro, whoever you are. You don't speak for Karen. You've never spoken to Karen. You don't know Karen. You have no relationship whatsoever with her. You are a drama person on the internet who seems to think that she has ownership of a woman in Massachusetts who she's never met. And you don't. You don't have any ownership of her. Okay. You don't get to decide where she goes. You don't get to decide, who she's moved on from, and so she, Mike says to block 𝗵𝗄𝐶. Okay. And he says she knows she was a part of it. Block her. It's helpful she included her posts for history. Maybe I'll write a book with my friends. Okay. And then it says here, so Emily is sharing this like, when all else fails, unite over a common enemy. I like that because the common enemy in this case would be the McAlberts, right? And unfortunately, that didn't go over well with the person who threw the fundraiser because he says, we raised $30,000 for Karen. Nobody wants your cult. See, that's not cool. I have a problem with that. And I think that's disrespectful to Karen Reed because you're doing this fundraiser for her and you're saying, and 𝗵𝗄𝐶 is a huge supporter of Karen Reed. By the way, I think it was 10. I don't think it was 30, but okay. I think it was 10, which is great. It's better than 0. And here you have 𝗵𝗄𝐶 who's like trying to unite people over this. And she's being told, fuck you. Nobody wants your cult. And that's not cool. We're supposed to be, she brings a crowd. I bring a crowd. Just Machado brings a crowd. We all bring a crowd with us and we can get the crowd fired up and ready to go and excited. Again, maybe not as much as, 𝗀𝗲𝗄𝗆 and 𝗄𝗵𝗄𝗃, but still, I think it would be, a good crowd to have on there. So, I just saw a lot of this and I didn't think it was helpful in particular, but that's just me. That's just me. All right, let me read some more turtle chats here. God, it's hard being drama-free sometimes. Today, but not today, Satan. Am I doing a good job, chat? Am I doing a good job? Yes, Nurse Kim, Glare, Jimmy, Melanie Little, and all the attorneys, talking about the corruption. That's what it's all about, baby. Let's go. All right. Next turtle chat is for the Albert Family Rock sends $15, goes, thank you for your continued independent journalism. My pleasure. The Albert Family Rock. We haven't figured out how that ended up there during jury visits, but I guess we'll never know. Shelly sends $10, goes, imagine charging Lifetime movie Turtleboy with witness intimidation and then jail for domestic violence. Free Turtleboy. Yeah, at least he didn't go to jail in that movie, so he had that going for him. Next, Jason Phillips sends $5, goes, hi, Turtleboy. I love your streams and honesty. It keeps me energized during my workouts and drive to work. I still think Chloe the dog did it. What is going on Twitter? I saw a lot of random people talking about hearing moving to 9. Good luck this week. Yeah, it did move to 9. And immediately speculations like, oh my God, he's going to jail. Something like that. This was interesting. This was like, hold on. Did I X out of that? This was another interesting highlight that I saw when I think he misunderstood. So Ian Runkle started talking about David Unetti's closing.
Over and over for like the first, however
wait,
long.
Wait. Nobody stop Runkle right there. Why did Unetti, why did the case die?
Well, I was expecting Unetti to, over and over.
I think he misunderstood. I got to see the whole context of that one. But there was like,
promise that a lawyer.
Let's see. Okay, so this is the one. Let me see this one. I think this was the clip.
Makes that they cannot possibly keep. This is a lawyer overpromising to the jury. This is a lawyer. And so what I was.
So Runkle talks about how he came onto the case. And it's a really interesting story because he was not going to really cover this. And the first thing he heard from David Unetti was Karen Reed was framed. So he's like, oh, this is a lawyer. That's interesting. This is a lawyer over delivering. Surely you're not going to prove that this woman was like, that's a bold take. So that caught, he's basically saying it, that this is what got his attention. David Yanetti's opening statement in which he said that Karen Reed was framed.
Basically expecting to do is cover a case and be like, he made this promise.
But I think the man to the left here doesn't understand what he means by that.
Look at how badly it's blowing up in his face. Like, I thought I was going to be covering the case of Yannetti blows up and, dies publicly. And the case kept going. And the comment I made over and over for like the first, like, however long.
Wait. Nobody stop Ronco right there. Why did the case die?
Well, I was expecting.
Okay, so that's not what he was saying. Just to clarify here, if you listen again, he's not saying the case died.
Dies publicly.
Hold on.
Like, I thought I was going to be covering the case of Yannetti blows up and, dies publicly.
I thought I was going to be covering the case of the story of the case blows up and Yannetti. What did he say? Again, listen to him.
Badly, it's blowing up in his face. Like, I thought I was going to be covering the case of Yannetti blows up and, dies publicly.
I thought I was going to be covering the case of the case blows up and Yannetti dies publicly. I thought, because he thought Yannetti over-delivered or promised too much in his opening. He thought that. That's not what he thinks happened. He's saying that this is what he thought. That was his initial take, was he thought that. And if he was allowed to continue his thought and explain his thought, I don't want to put words in his mouth, but I think he was going to say that that's what caught his attention. But as it went on and on and on, he began to deliver on this. He didn't just promise it. The defense delivered on their promise. But the thing about that is you have to be paying attention to the speaker. And Ian Runkle is a distinguished attorney in Canada who deserves to not be interrupted and deserves to not be, whatever. And so, like, this is the guy. Like, he should be just you got Ian Runkle on here. He's a big name. Let the man talk. You know what I mean? Instead, we got this.
And the case kept going. And the comment I made over and over for like the first, like, however long.
Wait. Nobody stop Ronco right there. Why did the case die?
Well, I was expecting Yannetti to.
So the case didn't die. The case didn't die. He thought he was going to watch the case die. But then if he continued, he would explain he did, but it didn't die. He actually followed through. And we'd like to hear from Mr. Runkle.
I was like, you tell the jury Karen Reed was framed. This is the kind of thing that never lands, right? And so I was waiting for, like, I'm watching this for like a week, and I kept saying, how is it that the Karen Reed was framed isn't stupid yet? Like, this was going to.
And again, like, I'm not drama-free, whatever. Like, Karen Reed and her father are highly educated professionals, right? Bentley University professors, well-respected, brilliant people. And again, I just want better for them. Like, they deserve better than this. Like, because this is like, I want Karen Reed to succeed, and this is not it. You know what I mean? This is not working.
Stupid. When is it going to sound stupid? And it just kept going, and I'm like, this actually is having there's traction to the Karen Reed was. And so I got covering it.
There you go.
Expecting that the lawyer was going to be, I actually expected that I'd be kind of making fun of Yannetti when I got started covering it. And I got to the end of it and I was like, no, he's actually delivering on this point. It actually makes a whole lot of sense.
Yes,
it makes way more sense than Lally's theory, Lally had one of the worst openings of the history of time in that first trial. It was basically just like, let me tell you every person who exists. And it was like the book of Genesis.
Can I just say this, Runkle, real quick?
It was the book of Genesis.
And he's not going to risk his career and go up there and sound like a buffoon. If he believes in something, he's going to believe in it.
Oh, my God. He does. Oh, my God. Okay, so James. Okay. So he does believe in it, and he didn't risk his career. And that the whole point of what he was saying was he initially thought he was overselling it, but as he watched the trial, it turned out not to be.
He's not going to go up there and speak stupidly.
I hadn't been following like any of it. I got in late. And it was kind of an advantage because I'm going in being like, I'm just seeing what the jury's seeing. I haven't seen any of the pretrial stuff. So I came in late. I didn't know who Yannetti was. I didn't know if he was like 𝗟𝗟, who doesn't know what he's doing, or if he's, because we've seen some of the cases we covered. We've seen lawyers who just, who just don't know what they're doing, who kind of fumble. And I kind of thought that's where that was going. I was going to be like, what I expected is I'd be telling the audience, as a lawyer, this is why you don't overpromise and overcommit. You come in and you say there's cases full of holes, but
what is happening? What is
big promise?
Yes.
We also have another guest we're going to bring up right now too. We have another attorney who's been standing by here. He's a criminal defense attorney.
What is happening?
Prosecutor. He's also Navy JAG.
Chapstick?
Got that right?
Chapstick?
He's very accomplished. He's all about justice. He is a justice guy. He's got a YouTube channel as well. Attorney Carl Steinbeck, welcome back to the Young Jerks. How you doing tonight, sir?
Hi, Mike and the team. Good to see you all.
Yeah,
Hello.
giving you a round of applause.
How you doing?
For being here. We've got 3 attorneys here. Three different attorneys. I love this.
Well, Runkle's about to get his point
5
off.
of us common people. 3 attorneys in the middle. Attorney Carl Steinbeck, why did you decide to show up tonight for this?
Poor Nick. I feel so bad.
Well,
for
it's I think it's great to see these attorneys following through and going after him offensively.
Okay.
The evildoers
no.
that were
Oh,
behind
no.
this racket that we saw that was ratcheted up against Karen.
Love
and
Carl
tried to
Steinbeck.
absolutely destroy her. They have no mercy. There's nothing these guys won't do to try to crush her under, but they failed. Thank goodness for the lawyers that she had that stood up to this wild, out of control justice system out there. And so it's they need to be held accountable civilly now. So I know she's defending herself. Well, yeah,
what's happening? So, yeah. Again, Karen Reed deserves better. John O'Keefe deserves better. That is my thought.
Karen Reed was framed. And I went,
on
okay.
that. And there was one other interesting. I found this Twitter account today called @TB War Room. There's a Turtleboy War Room channel that has gone up. There was some hot takes from 𝗄𝗄𝗃. We can listen to this. This is insightful stuff.
Mango.
Let's see what we have here.
Movie, and what's your thought about it? Rotten Mango. I said movie. Rotten Mango interview with Karen Reed.
I did watch it.
So he's asking 𝗄𝗃𝗃 here about the Rotten Mango interview and his thoughts.
I believe, I feel like there's a lot of parts that were missing from it, which, some unanswered questions with my own thoughts. I think it painted a good picture of Karen, with how she, it all came, it happened so fast, the next thing you know, it was, this tragedy just kind of took over her whole life. It led me to believe and to know that she was afraid. She was scared. She was afraid of going to jail because, of how they, predicted this happened, just,
I think that's
we all seen the first and second trial.
Yeah, we have.
We've seen the evidence.
That's true.
That came up. We've seen the key players.
Yeah, we have.
It was brought forth to us, on live TV that.
Oh yeah.
There was mistakes. There was faults.
Lots of mistakes.
There was inconsistencies.
Lots of them. Lots of inconsistencies.
To see how it was laid out in that form.
Yep.
As the let's say.
Yeah.
That interview.
What? Yeah.
Just. You could tell she was just she was afraid. She was scared.
Definitely.
She still is.
Framed for murder. Yeah.
She's still up against this whole thing.
Totally.
The fight is not over.
No. Long way to go.
Biggest thing.
Long way to go. Yeah. So, and then I think there was more.
Movie, and what's your thought about it? Rotten Mango. I said movie. Rotten Mango interview with Karen Reed.
Oh, was this the one we already saw?
I did watch it.
Oh, okay. No. So
let's bring up 𝗄𝗃𝗃 now.
Yeah, I don't know what we would do without that insight. Yeah. So that's good, But again, this is why when I saw this, I'm like, I need to do one. I know that Karen Reed and I have our issues. We've had issues in the past, but what better way to extend an olive branch than raise a fuck ton of money for someone, Let's do it. Because that's what this is about. Let's go. All right, because Alan Jackson deserves better too. Alan Jackson wants to get paid. This is the Alan Jackson Fund. We all saw how good Alan Jackson was. He's choosing to be on this case. You know, he's not missing out. He wants to depose these mofos. There's less rules when it comes to depositions. You know, Auntie Bev's not there to save him. That's a good investment. The Alan Jackson Investment Fund is a good, like, you're getting what you pay for. You know, this will all be public too. We'll get to watch the videos afterwards. Like, it's going to be dope. Kevin Reddington will be in there trying to tell, we object to that line of questioning, Mr. Hotshot Attorney from California. We object to that. I mean, picture the theatrics of that. It's worth the price. That's why I would gladly donate to that. Gladly. All right, cool. Next, we got here. What do we have here? Where'd the turtle jets go? Okay. This is from Jason, sends $5, goes, "Hi, Turtleboy. I love your streams. Keep me energized during my workouts and drive to work. I still think Chloe the dog did it. What's going on?" Oh, I read that one. Thank you. Dougie Fresh sends $11. "These are the traits hosts needs for a successful fundraiser. I think you got this covered, my man. They immediately capture attention. Yes, that's one thing. Capture attention. They build instant emotional connection. Yes. They significantly boost trust. Yes. They excel at storytelling. Yes. They create urgency without sounding pushy. They dramatically improve conversion rates. They encourage social sharing. They handle live interaction masterfully. They humanize the organization. They bring people together too. They extend donor lifetime value. Show us 𝗀𝗂𝗀𝗃 and give us McDonough." Yes, I'll do just that. Thank you. Next. Side Eyes Jess Bacon sends $10, goes, "First, everyone say hi to Skip from the isolation year. Second, let's get Baker's fundraiser lineup in the works. Free Turtleboy and still support Karen Reed." Thank you so much. Skip from the isolation year sends 25 smackaroos and says, "I'm Skip with the isolation year. I am doing a live stream for a personal reset for 365 24/7 here on YouTube. Your followers found me and said I should come here. Thanks. Well, you sound like a great guy, Skip. And I'll give your channel a follow. Thank you." Rosaline sends $10, goes, "Dr. Turtleboy Fridge Daddy, congrats on your drama-free journey. Remember, less drama equals more sex." That sounds great. Then sign me up. I should have been drama-free a long time. I mean, I'm not going to lie. I'm fixing all sorts of appliances these days. So it's not a problem. Trust me. Sending you all the luck and prayers for a good result on the 23rd XOXO free Turtleboy. I cannot wait for the 23rd, man. I can't wait for the 23rd. No distractions this week. This is a big week. Friday is the big day, and I'm really, really, really looking forward to Friday. And, 9 o'clock, the motion to recuse specially appointed prosecutor Robert Cosgrove. He didn't even put up a fight as far as replying to it or doing another motion. The judge lets you do another one. He just didn't do it. So, hey, whatever. Next. Skip has donated 3 times for $25. Okay. I think he just kept hitting that. Okay. Thank you. The Anonymous Turtle says, "Play Fervent's Chicken Parm song on 1.5 speed. It's a banger." So I can't be doing this all the time. You're sending me like a 4-minute video for $7. I can't do that. We got to have a new rule with that. You can't be like, "Hey, I'm not a fucking jukebox." Okay. I will check it out, but I feel kind of dirty about here's $7. Play my song. I might. I'm going to put that in the maybe box. So thank you. Hannah Ray sends $20, goes, "Hey, Big Daddy, we were emailing recently, and I just wanted to put something out there to everyone watching. Lock your guns up good. Keep them away from kids." Yes, very sad. I know this is a very, very sad story. She says, I lost my 9-year-old son in October to an accidental shooting while he was at his father's house. This is in Ohio, I believe. I promise it happens in a split second, and your life will be changed forever. Take the extra time and spend the extra money for a safe, please. Horrible. Free Turtleboy. You have a lifelong supporter in me, Daddy. Well, thank you very much, Hannah. Very, very, very sorry about your loss. That's horrible. Horrible. So thank you. And that's why I don't own a gun, and I've never owned a gun. And that's why. And that's not the only reason why. It's kids. But also, I don't trust myself with a gun. Guns are for responsible people. I think gun ownership is a right, but it's also a responsibility. and I am not a responsible person. I forget to pay my Mass Pike bill for years. Okay. I leave shit lying around. I often forget to set my alarm, and I wake up to a phone call from my ex-wife saying, "Where are you? I have to go to school." That happens a lot. Okay. I'm very irresponsible. And so the thing about guns is, if you're irresponsible once, that's all it takes is once, your life changes forever. I'm good. I'm all that's too much pressure for me. That's too much pressure. Like the odds of me, so gun ownership, guns are for protecting yourself from the government. That's what the Second Amendment's for. But I'm not trying to infringe on anyone else's right. Get your own gun. I don't care. I'm a gun supporter, but I'm also part of gun rights is the right not to buy a gun. You know what I mean? And people have been trying to tell me to buy guns for years because of the fact that people are fucking psychopaths out there saying crazy shit. But I'm like, the odds of me using a gun to shoot a bad guy are infinitely smaller than the odds of me accidentally, that gun accidentally being used in a very negative and permanent way towards me or someone I love. Like that, the odds of that are higher. See what I'm saying? Holy shit, it's 41-6. God damn it. So I'm just not a gun guy, and I just never will be. I'll get bear spray, like somebody in the chat said, or something like that. Like you can fuck people up in a lot of ways. I have a bat. I can just hit at you with a bat if you come in my house. And I feel like that's pretty solid and less scary for me. To me, I couldn't imagine what it's like to point a gun at someone and pull the trigger, even if they're threatening you. And it's just I couldn't imagine what that's like. I can't imagine how anybody who shoots another person would deal with that. Oh, speaking of, I thought about this too. So as you guys know, Tim Bradel is my lawyer, and he represents 𝗫𝗄𝗄𝗆 𝗵𝗃𝗔𝗔𝗄𝗃, and she's out now. She's been out for almost a month now. That's great. And she did a little interview, brief. I meant to message Bradel about this, but I'm like, I would love to interview 𝗫𝗄𝗄𝗆 𝗵𝗃𝗔𝗄𝗃, get her on here, but I don't think he would let me do it. I don't think he'd let her talk, especially with a trial coming up. But you know what my first question for 𝗫𝗄𝗄𝗆 𝗵𝗃𝗔𝗄𝗃 would be? Because you know me, I just like to ask what's on my mind. And my first question for 𝗫𝗄𝗄𝗆 𝗵𝗃𝗔𝗄𝗃 would be yo, what's it like getting shot? That's fucking crazy. Most people were going to go their whole life with never getting shot. A lot of people would ask about the case or whatever. I'd be like, what's it like getting shot? What'd that feel? What did that feel like? Can you describe what that felt like? That would be my first question. That shit must have hurt, right? I can't imagine a fucking bullet going into your body, and just ripping your shit apart. What was that like? That'd be my first question. What's it like getting shot? And then I don't know where I'd go from there. But that's that. I don't know much about 𝗫𝗄𝗄𝗆 𝗵𝗃𝗔𝗄𝗃. That's what I'm saying. She's lucky to be alive. Bro, she got shot. She got shot. Point blank. That's crazy. By a cop. That's crazy. But anyway, there's that. On my roster, oh God, it's kind of public sometimes, but anyway, back to this. Where were we on here? The other Mary B. Bilbrey sends $5, goes, this is how you know who's in it for the right reasons. We've always wanted Karen to win, no matter what, because we love justice regardless of the person. If they really supported Karen's, they would support yours by default. We love you and we're proud of you. I would agree with that statement. I would also say that if it's really about Karen and not about egos or whatever, if I'm offering to come on and, help you guys raise a whole bunch of money and you're like, no, fuck you, then it's how can you say it's about Karen? It's kind of about, it seems like it's about you and your access to Karen and your ownership of Karen and you're speaking. And it's just so offensive because nobody speaks for Karen Read. She's not a prize to be won. She is a human being and worthy of our support. That's what I would say, and deserves better than that. Anna sends $25, goes, hey, Turtle Babe, why don't you do the fundraiser in the name of corruption and split the funds between you and Karen. Keep up the great work. I don't know how that would work though, because like the whole point is you have a give, send, go. So like, how would that work? Whose give, send, go would get shared? I mean, I could try that, but, or I could say that we're raising, the goal is 25 grand for Karen. And if we meet that goal, anything extra goes to the Turtleboy fund. We could do something like that. What do you guys think of that if we did that? Like 25 grand, 25 cat. If we get under 25, it all goes to Karen. If we get over 25, then every penny after 25 goes to Turtleboy. What do you guys think of that? Is that, no, just Karen. Okay, no, we'll go with just Karen. That is. See, that's the way I ask you guys. We'll go just Karen. I like that. Just Karen. All for Karen. You know, I could do it, but I don't want to be accused of anything here. You know, I don't want to be accused of anything. No, that's a bad idea because they're going to say you stole money. Well, could they if all 25 went to it? I mean, they're going to say, I don't really care what they say. You know, needs to be separate. Okay. You know, just throwing it out there. Either way, can Howie sit him down and talk some sense into him? I don't know what's going on with that, with Howie. I don't know. Yeah. People are like, no. Okay. I'm just asking. I'm throwing it out there. I ask, unlike some people, I value what the people in my chat say and I listen to people. And if people don't think it's a good idea, then I will listen to them. I will heed their advice because I value and appreciate what you guys are saying. People are like, no mixing. Okay. No mixing. No mixing wins it. There we go. You guys win. I'm all for Karen. I agree. All for Karen. Exactly. More for you another time. I'll be fine. I'll be good. I'll be good. There we go. I like it. All right, next. See, this is why I poll the audience. And people say that like my crowd is a cult. If my crowd was a cult, they would be like, no, keep that shit, Turtleboy. You know, fuck her. Do it for you. You know, but no, my chat supports Karen Reed overwhelmingly, as they should. So there we go. I like it. I like you guys. And you know, fingers crossed, a month from now, maybe my situation's over. You never know. If Cosgrove is recused and they can't replace him, who knows? Maybe something great happens like that. Kristen sends $10, goes, Melanie would be a great pre-interviewer for anyone joining the panel, specifically the Law Tubers. What's a pre-interviewer? Again, I just want people who are going to come on there and contribute something. Like there cannot be, like Ian Runkle is a big name. That was what offended me the most. Ian Runkle and Bill Reed. These are big names, you know, and it's just like we're being interrupted by who? What is this? Who is this person? And why are they, what? Why? Oh God, you know, we just deserve better. Naniel, Where Spaniel, sends $25 and goes, I respect your effort. The struggle is asking people to support someone who hasn't denounced the drama and people causing it. You are fighting for your freedom and free speech. Well, she stays silent. That says a lot. I don't think that's fair, to be perfectly honest for you. Karen Reed doesn't have a Twitter account. Like, you know, we don't even know. Nobody speaks for Karen Reed. And it's not her job to come on and like, first of all, we don't know if she like, I mean, her dad did go on the thing last night, but it seemed like he was more like bothered by it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, okay, sure. How do I do this? And then how do I join in? He didn't seem like he wanted to be there. And so we don't even like, I've seen no evidence that like Karen, like it was not streamed on the Reed Files channel. They were streaming the other guy's stream. And so it just seemed like they are, you know, I don't know. It's not Karen Reed's job to come on there and be like, I don't appreciate this. I denounce this person, because she needs the support of everyone, you know? And, you know, some people are saying this. Some people do think she needs to clear it up. Again, she doesn't need to do it. I don't know. I disagree. Maybe her silence speaks. I don't know. She can speak when she wants to. You know, that's the way I view this. And until then, I just see her cause as something worthy of raising money for, and that's it. So, the Read Files channel did take it down. So maybe maybe the fact that the Read Files channel took that down, I don't think they would take that down without Karen and Alan asking for it to take it down. So wouldn't you argue that in and of itself is somewhat of a statement? Don't you guys think? I don't know. What do you guys think? They did. They deleted it fast too. Yeah, that's the thing. We never said we didn't support Karen. Other people said we don't, But, and we don't even know what she's aware of. Like, does she follow Mike Crawford on Twitter? Does she see all this? I don't know what she sees. I don't know. In all of my discussions with Karen Reed over the years, right? You know what we've never talked about? Ever. Never come up once. Mike Crawford. We've never talked about him, ever. Just was not something she ever discussed, Mike Crawford. So, like, I don't know if she follows him. I don't know. We've talked about a lot of other people. We talked about the Canton people, Rita Lombardi, select board meetings. Like, we followed all that shit, but we just never talked about Mike Crawford at all. So I think that the removal of that is a statement in and of itself. So that's just my thoughts on that. It's just a shame that this is the topic, Next witness sends $25, goes, hear me out. Do the fundraiser for you both. Your goal was for $25K to Karen, so promote it as the first $25K goes to Karen, and anything after that goes to you. I swear to God, that was a turtle chat. That was not, I did not see that, but that has been, we've decided to do it all for Karen. All of it. I'll get the next one. All right. Couple more here. Although, you know what the beauty of my show is? You're like, well, when are you going to get to the content? Well, I just take the turtle chats and they're content stimulators. That's what the turtle chats are for. They're content stimulators. You wind me up and then I go on rants, All right, next. Hold on, we got a few here. All right. And a bunch here. Okay. The other Mary B sends $5 and goes, I'm all for the fundraiser, but only after your cases are dismissed. Also, am I right to assume Karen would appreciate us fundraising for her? I would assume so, but you're right. Maybe I should ask her first. I don't know. I just assume money be green. Who doesn't like money? I guess. I don't know if it's unwanted. She can return it, I guess, but I assume she would like it. Bob Brown sends $10, goes, Turtleboy, after James Jackson and the gold chain question, did you hear Crawford ask Bill Reed why he and Karen donated to Adam 𝗍𝗫 in a big group chat? I did see that, but then Bill Reed I think that's when the James Jackson quote came in and just got distracted. Yo, what up with that gold chain? And so they didn't get to that. And so he goes, in a big group chat, so inappropriate. Since he's pushing that very weak Juna Perkins just because she came on his show, no class, typical weak liberal. How about a little politeness to Bill? Bill's mic wasn't working, thank God. Crawford has no class or common sense, Bob. I did notice that. And, he's doing this whole thing about why, he hasn't come on my show. Bro, the world doesn't revolve around your show, man. I don't know how to break it to you. And again, I want a serious candidate. I want a real serious candidate to run this. And Adam 𝗍𝗫 appears to be a real serious candidate. So I'm endorsing him. Patricia sends $5, goes, how did Betterow get to be a Patriots fan? He's a Framinghamian. He's from Massachusetts. So that's how. He's not initially from New York. There we go. He's just a big shot New York attorney now. Next. Drama-free Jimothy Goodwin sends $10 and said, oh, okay. So Jenna wanted to clear up that they didn't say anything about the fundraiser or to remove the video. Okay, so I guess it was a decision by the admins of the channel. So there we go. Okay, so there was not a statement. So now it's official. Taking it down was not a statement. I do think the chat wishes they didn't hear that. They like the other version more, but the truth is the truth either way. Next. Drama-free Jimothy Goodwin says, do a poll on if who we got in the divorce should do a fundraiser stream for you. Oh, I see. Yeah, maybe. I don't ask people to do fundraising streams for me, but we'll see. If 𝗄𝗏𝗺 is not recused, then we know the fight goes on. Then we would know we will need a fundraiser, to keep this thing going. So there we go. 𝗃𝗏𝗃 sends $10, goes, I think these people have failed to realize that most Karen Read supporters are your supporters as well, because they're all about fighting the corruption. They're failing her so badly by talking bad about you and your supporters. Well, thank you, 𝗃𝗏𝗃. Yeah, I agree. Jackie sends $10, goes, Krusty making the comment on a Spaces yesterday that someone close to Karen just texted her and was giving her information. Oh, sure thing. I know she lies, but that made me so sad for Karen either way. Crap like this never happened before thugs came in this movement. Sorry, not sorry. Free Turtleboy, free Karen Read. Yeah, she's just a pathological liar. I would not listen to a word that she says. Kelly sends $10, goes, some drug-addled idiot trying to make sense of a conversation from an intelligent attorney. Priceless. Sorry, he's a moron. I won't say his name here. We all know. Indeed. Courtroom Chick Meyer sends $20, goes, please talk me off a ledge. I cannot bring myself to donate to Karen Read because Crawford and his disgusting gang of hood boogers. Her associating with them has left a bad taste in my mouth and makes me not want to donate anything. Advice for others who feel like I do. I do not think I'm alone. You're definitely not alone, unfortunately. I guess my advice would be, I hate giving advice to Karen Read, than being presumptuous, but like there are a lot of people out there that are saying this. And I think that it would go a long way for her to just, she doesn't even have to say anything publicly. She can just pull Crawford aside and be like, bro, you got to chill. You got to chill with the divisiveness. Like I need all hands on deck. That's what we need here. We need all hands on deck. We don't need any more device. And that includes even saying it to people like Will and myself, like people on this side, if you will, everyone. We need all hands on deck, So that's the best advice I would give. I view donating money to Karen Read, like don't let Mike, I understand. Mike, don't give money in spite of Mike Crawford, right? Mike Crawford doesn't talk to Karen Read. They don't talk, okay? So he does not talk for her. So just understand that. There's a lot of people out here who are taking ownership of Karen Read that they don't own her. They talk for, like, Karen Read talks for herself, period, point blank. Okay. And none of these people talk for her. There's that. And when we've heard Karen, put it this way, we heard Karen Read's Rotten Mango interview, right? You know who she talked about in that interview? Erica Walsh from Boots on the Ground. You know who she didn't talk about in that interview? All of the people who are claiming to speak for her. She didn't say any of their names. But she talked about Erica Walsh, and that's what matters, right? Karen Read remembers the people who were there for her and there every day, and she talks about it on Kelly Ripa too, from the part I've heard about how she pulls up. And, I want to listen to this, the Kelly Ripa. Have you guys heard the Kelly Ripa, Karen Read one? They haven't, I don't know if they've released the whole thing or not, but... Kelly Ripa, where'd she go? Where's your channel? Kelly Ripa, Karen Read. That's fine.
About sort of this, the Karen Read effect and how people really started rallying behind you and showing up and standing in front of the courthouse. And then by the time they were not permitted to stand in front of the courthouse, still being like,
so this is interesting. This is my bread and butter. This is the crowd daddy stuff. The crowd's outside. I like this.
Very vigilant. And what did that hold you up in some way? Did that make you feel like any less terrified? Because I would think you would be terrified through every step of this trial, all the trials.
I still am in awe that it even happened, that there was this groundswell, and it made me question my own empathy, which I've always considered myself somewhat of an empath, but now I realize I'm not, because I've seen injustices play out or other problems in society, and I wouldn't be there in the rain, in the snow, or ever. I mean, now I'd like to think I would behave differently. It absolutely buoyed me. I've said before, especially, it really started picking up halfway to trial in the middle of 2023. It was something to look forward to.
Yes.
In the middle of the anxiety and nerves that.
So that, I mean, this is what the crowds did for her. It was something to look forward to in the middle of the crowds and the nerves.
We're going to get off the highway and we're going to start seeing pink and American flags, and people were every day throwing gifts or a box of donuts or cards or money. It gave me something to look forward to, and it helped me tolerate, or more than tolerate, it helped me get through without falling apart, the embarrassment of the whole thing. It's incredibly humiliating, and I had to do it twice. And I knew there were people that didn't care how the state was trying to humiliate me. They cared that I was being wrongfully prosecuted. It buoyed me every single day.
Yeah, so there you go. The crowds outside buoyed her every single day. So we made a difference. You know, you guys all made a difference out there. And, you know, people like, did she mention you? I don't care. I don't care. Doesn't bother me at all. I know what I did. I know why the crowds were outside. The crowds were outside because I organized them. Because July 25th, 2023, I organized the first big protest outside of Karen Read's pretrial hearings. I know I did that. Okay. I didn't do it for anyone else, but like I did it because I was upset. I was outraged by what was happening, and and it's a public courthouse, and I wanted to make my voice heard. I was so outraged about what was happening, and I wanted to just get on a megaphone. I didn't want to do it on the internet. That's the thing. I don't want to just do shit online. I want to do shit in person. I love doing shit in person. And that led to the September 15th hearing. Okay. And then the next time there was a hearing, I was in jail. All right. Because I got arrested after the September 15th hearing, a couple weeks later. And then, you know, in the cold, we were out there. And I almost picked up a charge. I did pick up a charge going to one of her hearings on February 26, 2024. You know, I did all that. I know what I did. And then, like, I was there. Like, I couldn't get in the courtroom, and I still would show up, like, every day. And I was happy to do it, man. I was happy to do it. So I know what I did. I don't need to be mentioned. That's the thing about it. People I don't need it. I'm good. Right? I know the effect that we had. I don't want anything for it. Never did. Right? And yeah. There's that. All right, next. Yeah, I mean, everyone knows who followed this, what I did. I don't need anyone else to say that. Okay. But, you know, I think that, I mean, whatever. So her and I would have to have a conversation deeper about this, about why, you know, like, it's like, I think a conversation is in order before anything. And I think it would work out well for everyone. I'm just saying, but we'll deal with that privately. Next. James Amafool sends $10 and goes, you keep saying how Karen and family deserve better. Yeah, you deserve better also. Where's your turtle boy? You know, I could use a turtle boy. And we'll see. You know, I have a big hearing coming up on Friday. And so I certainly hope you guys want to show your support. Come to the hearing, you know, cover it, talk about it, discuss it. Get it out there. It's outrageous. It's outrageous what's happening. And so maybe we'll have a big review this week of just exactly why Robert Cosgrove should be recused. Okay. So there we go. Next. The Albert Family Rock sends $5. Goes, by the way, pretty sure Mr. Reed is Dr. Reed. I don't think he is. Is he? I'm not sure. Thank you. He should be. We'll come. If Judd Welch is a doctor, then Bill Reed's a doctor too, period. Will's your turtle boy, but Will's not an investigative journalist. like, you know what I mean? And he lives in Tennessee, so it's like he can't just on cue come and lead a protest or anything like that, but I could certainly use some. We got to get Paul Cristoforo back. We got to get the people back, the boots on the ground. Where'd they go? Where'd they all go? All right, next. Let's see. Andrea sends $20, goes, hi, Aidan. Going back to the basics. Samantha Benigno is sure the McAlberts knew that John had already died before they placed him on the lawn. And Jen's Google search was just to see if it would be believable that he died from hypothermia. What are your thoughts? Interesting, but he wasn't declared dead until 7:45? I think, Erica is my turtle boy. Yes, she is. She basically is. Yes. I got a bunch of turtle boys, So I disagree with her on that because he was not pronounced dead until 7:45. Naniel the Spaniel sends $10. Go, last night proved something. The trash takes itself out. Okay. Bite My Bits White sends $10. Goes, the only high appropriate for a fundraiser is the high road. And you look good on it, Daddy. Hashtag Free Turtle Boy. Hashtag Justice for John O'Keefe. Well, thank you so much. Desiderata Larson sends $5 and goes, listen, Turtle, YouTube is a beautiful thing. We choose who we watch. We donate who we want to. Two other things can also be true. We can support you and Karen. Congrats on holding back your old verbiage tongue while walking us through last night's Read Files episode. Give yourself an applause. I feel it's hard. It's hard at times, but it's also therapeutic because I know that when I wake up in the morning, they can't use any ammo on me. They can't be like, well, they're going to take this clip. Oh, he really went off on a tangent here. He said this. It's like, nope. What are you going to say now? I'm just being positive, So thank you. Damara sends $10. Goes 4 a.m. in England. No one else I'd stay up for. I love you without drama. Thank you for all you do for justice for our entertainment. Thank you so much. Felicia sends $10. Goes, talk to Dina about your fundraiser plans. She was on Rat House Media last night and mentioned she has a banner signed by many creators that she would donate towards a fundraiser as a giveaway item. She's the best. She had a lot to say, a lot of interesting things to say on Rat House Media that you should check out. So, and I totally agree with her. What does this say? What is this comment I see from? Sorry, Turtle Boy, I feel sour. It's not because of you. Insults hurled at Dina and Erica, etc. When boots on the ground can tell us they have been properly apologized to by the Valkyrie. Yeah. Whatever. Don't let Karen get caught up with that. Personally, if I was Karen, I would just be like, yeah, you guys are costing me money. That would be my big thing is I appreciate the help, but also your divisiveness is costing me money, which remember, the money isn't for me. The money is for justice, for John O'Keefe and for me. Okay. And so by being divisive, this is a bad business plan because it's just hurting me. So if you guys care about me, can you chill? That's what I would say. If I was her to them privately, I would say that. Not publicly. I would say that privately. And they would listen. They would listen because being on her good side is something that they value. That's, you know what I mean? And so, and I think that would affect her in a positive way monetarily because you could raise more money that way, But again, she does what nothing. I don't want to sound presumptuous. Next, Laura sends $10 and goes, right now it's Seahawks 41, San Francisco 49ers 6. The Seahawks rule. I don't think your Patriots can take us. Ooh, looking forward to a great Super Bowl win for Seattle. Remember last time we played Seattle, how that went. You can't support Karen without supporting you. Anyone who doesn't agree is a walking contradiction or retarded. Free turtle. I mean, you can. Some people do that. But whatever. Yeah, I'm not worried about the Seahawks either. You guys have a joke quarter. I don't know how you're winning by so much right now. I think the 49ers are kind of a fluke. So I'm not that worried about them. Is it really 41-6 right now? Oh, it's the final. Let's see the box score. Brock Purdy sucked. Sam Darnold, 12 of 17 for 124 yards and 1 touchdown. Come on. Stop it. You're going against the Rams. They're probably going to get the Rams next week, right? If that's the case, that's going to be tough. I know Seattle's a tough place to play. Bro, we can win the Super Bowl. This is fucked up, especially with Bo Nix with a broken leg or whatever. Ken Walker, 116 yards, 3 touchdowns. Woo! That's good. That's going to be tough to beat. Interesting. Okay. All right. Let me read some Cash Apps if we have any here. All right. Let's see. Renee sends $10, goes, say hello to Skip from the isolation year. I feel like we have. Thank you. Kimberly sends $5, goes, all my support. I'm flying in for the hearing. Holy shit. That's dope. Thank you, Kimberly. Jessica sends $10 and goes, do a fundraiser for yourself. You can't get justice for Boston Police Officer John O'Keefe without Karen Reed and Turtleboy. Well, thank you so much, Jessica, and we will be doing one. Naomi sends $10, goes, I came to your show late. Did you hear Marty Kraft has been suspended from taking any more cases? Yes, we're going to get into that. Ralph sends $20, goes, can you hit that DJ clap again? Give it up, party people, for the boy. Again, nice guy. Yeah, I'm not going to get into that. Thank you. Ralph, thank you. Sherilyn sends $4. That's close to 5. And says, I'm so proud of your journey and evolution. Well, thank you so much, Ralph. That was from Sherilyn. Thank you. Lori sends $5 and goes, proud of you. Ask Rotten Mango. Ask her what? Thank you. Anna sends $5 and goes, the folks on your fundraisers don't sound sticky. Okay. Mama She sends $100. Woo! Give it up, party people! Woo! Thank you. And sends $100 and says, hashtag free Turtleboy all day, day. Well, thank you so much. Jody sends 25 smackaroos. It says, watching from Maine, Turtleboy will prevail. Thank you. Jennifer sends $10, goes, it's Jen Fox. Yes, I know. And I support you 100. Keep being you. That's so sweet of you. Thank you. And Rebecca sends $5, goes, tell Rachel that you make me feel like dancing. Okay, Rachel, you heard that. You make me feel like dancing. Mo Esquire sends $20, goes, Ray isn't a puppet. Not gonna address that. Ray isn't a puppet. Well, I don't understand what that means. I love Ray from Dallas. Is there an issue with that? I don't get what the issue is. Thank you, Mo Esquire. Okay. Megan sends $20, goes, thanks for the laughs. You're the best. Oh, you're the best, Megan. I appreciate that. Okay, cool. If anybody else wants have their messages read out loud to the class, click at the link at the top for Turtle Chat, or you can cash at me at $ Uncle Turtleboy, and we can do it that way. Okay, so let me bring this up real quick. This thing here. Let's bring them all up. All right, so let me pull up my story here on TV Daily News, Marty Kraft. So this is a story that I published in August of 2024, between the two trials. Can cover up part 389. Sources say disgraced former Boston cop Marty Kraft reportedly hired Brian Albert and possibly Michael Proctor at private investigation company with ties to Michael Morrissey. Now, quick background on Marty Kraft. I wrote about his daughter, 𝗼𝗄𝗄𝗃 Kraft, in, let me see if I can find it. 𝗼𝗄𝗃 Kraft. Was this one I was looking for? Is Leah in here? Oh, yes. I wrote about his daughter, Leah, in 2022. after she got caught in a fight. This is his daughter, Leah. Okay? Check this out.
Oh. Yo. Oh.
Stop. You guys, stop. Come on. Stop. We're going to get arrested. Stop.
Yo, chill out. Yo, chill out. Y'all got it. Oh, shit, she's biting me.
We got it. Oh, no, you're fucking playing.
Hey, yo, oh. Yo, come on, chill out.
Yeah, exactly.
Chill out. You got it.
I know you
got it.
So she was one of the blondes, and, you know, she's just a complete trash bag. There she is right there. You know, just get, like, if you're, I know she's a grown up, but if your daughter's acting like this, like as a grown up and doing shit like that, you have completely failed as a parent. Congratulations. You gave birth to something and it turned out to be trash, fucking trash. And that is a failure. That is an indictment on you as a parent. I'm sorry. I know we're not all responsible for our kids. I guess the Koberger parents aren't responsible for their kid being a fucking weirdo murderer, but often it is the fault of the parents. Like, you failed. Okay. And that is Marty Kraft's that. So, and then I went back and I read my messages. I searched Marty Kraft in my email, and he contacted me in 2017 or 2018 asking to advertise on my website. He wanted to advertise his PI firm on my website. So anyway, here's Marty. Okay. And let's see. So he's a PI. National Police Week. Yeah, okay. Real big shot there. Okay. There he is. Okay. And, you know, I was raised to work hard. But he had over 40 complaints as a Boston cop. And still became a private investigator. This is a story in the Globe in 2017. Okay. Asked whether the record of complaints should prevent him from being a PI, he said, that was some excellent police work. Everybody complains. Okay. 15 of the 16 complaints were sustained. 6 were lodged by supervisors and colleagues. He got a 1-year suspension. If you're not getting complaints, you're not working. I did my job. I don't think that's how it goes. So then he forms this private investigating company. He tries to advertise on my website for it. Yeah, there it is. Advertising on Turtleboy. Great website. What is the cost for advertising? Yeah. 8217. And he's got like stock photos and stuff on his website. It's just so bootleg, his website. Like, it's just so bootleg. And here's his, like, these were the reviews on his website. It just says, KIG protected my business from employees stealing equipment. His surveillance techniques prevented thousands of dollars in losses. Signed, business owner. Business owner signed that. Okay, sure. He sounds real. There he is. So real important hotshot. Okay. But Marty Kraft is very, whoa. This is 2017? Is that John O'Keefe? He's got a picture of him and John O'Keefe in 2017 with John's partner who committed suicide. And this is what he says about Karen Reed on July 1st after the hung jury. Absolutely a disgrace. She paid big money so someone could manipulate the criminal justice system. John O'Keefe was murdered by her, and there is no one who could tell me different. The rest of you drank the Kool-Aid. I am not biased. Oh, no, totally not biased. Paid experts, my ass. Like, are these people retarded? Like, if you are a cop and you think that John O'Keefe was run over by a car, you should not be a cop. You should definitely not be a private investigator because you're too retarded to be. Like, you're just too stupid. No one should ever pay you to do anything. You're too retarded. You know? And so, yeah, I'm entirely grounded in my belief the Constitution will prevail. Karen Reed drove drunk. Right. Blah, 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 blah. Okay. Somebody goes, please ask Brian Albert why, as a Boston cop, he stayed inside and didn't bother to go outside for 1 minute. Sorry, you haven't watched these bunch of liars. If I'm wrong, please tell me. He just goes, very wrong. Are we going to articulate that, Marty? Is Marty's Facebook still up? I used to have his number. Let's see, Marty Kraft. There he is. Yeah. He lives in Mansfield, I guess. All right. He does not have any recent posts, so okay. Yeah, here's him and his trash bag daughter, Leah, on his Facebook. This is when she's not smashing someone's face into a snowbank. There they are. Okay. All right. So back to the story here. So, you know, these people are so stupid. Like, this is the kind of guy that thinks Karen Reed's guilty. Just look at this guy. Just look at that guy. Anyway, does digital forensics. Yeah, right. Okay. Anyway, so he was featured in a column by 𝗺𝗿𝗄𝗃 recently. And let me see if I can pull this up. Let me pull up 𝗺𝗿𝗄𝗃's Twitter. Before we do that, we should point out something, okay? And we got this from Lindsay Gattani, actually. Let me pull this up. For those of you who don't think she's a source of information here. So this is a text message she got that she has posted publicly from Kate Peter, okay? So Kate Peter sends her a text message on August 15th, right? And in this text message, Kate Peter takes a picture of her computer. And you see this right here? It says Marty Kraft. So Kate Peter is logged into Marty Kraft's email because she works for him or worked, I don't know. But this definitively, there was rumors that 𝗃𝗄𝗄𝗆 Panties was working. Sorry, 𝗃𝗄𝗄𝗆, my bad. I pronounced it wrong, my bad. There was rumors that 𝗃𝗄𝗄𝗆 was working for Marty Kraft, but this seems to confirm it. This definitely seems to confirm it. And if you see Grant's ramblings, it's always like Marty Kraft, this and that, you know. But this does confirm this, that 𝗃𝗄𝗄𝗆, and it's like, what kind of douchebag, like, this guy is very tied to Brian Albert, very tied to Karen's guilty. And if you're hiring 𝗃𝗄𝗆 Panties to work for you, bro, I mean, 𝗃𝗄𝗆 Panties is a child abuser. That's the most heinous thing she did. She lost her children to child abuse. Like, 2 of them were taken away. 2 of them were taken away by the state, right?
I mean, 2 aren't there.
Yeah,
There's 2 that aren't there.
About a girl about sex.
And one of them buried his digit in his sister. Do you understand that, man?
Do you understand that? I don't know, like this.
Hey, Mom. Wait. Mom, what are you doing? This is what grown-ups do when they're in love! You're a retard. To Michael.
Maybe don't force a child to say that.
Well, let's not forget what happened in DCF Care with her son and her daughter. Like, that was learned behavior. That was learned behavior. You know,
that is 100% something was witnessed or done to Fiddler on the Roof there, her son, and he acted out the same behavior because he thinks it's all right. Yeah. And again, I'm not saying this shit because I hope these kids go through, like, best case scenario, they never see their mother again and they get therapy.
Right.
But the world we actually live in.
All right. We can stop there. All right. Anyway, so this is, I mean, again, I have to remind people of that. Like, if you're cool with 𝗃𝗃 𝗃𝗃, she lost her children because she abused them. Lost them. They were taken from her. She wanted to keep them, and the state was like, nope, we're taking them. The older two were in and out of foster care their entire lives because she abused children. And anyone who abuses children is scum. And this is who the McAlberts have chosen to be their spokesperson. Okay? And Marty Kraft apparently hired this individual to be some sort of PI, or else why is she sending Lindsay Cattani pictures of her email logged into Marty Kraft's thing? Oh. Oops. Okay. Anyway, so back to this. What does this say? Like, look at this shit she's sending. This is a message she sends July 12th. Can you do me a favor and send this to Pam? And she sends her Twitter account. So Pam is the victim witness advocate for like all the McAlberts. And can you send this to Pam? And sends a link to her Twitter and goes, like you just found it or whatever. Can you send it like you just found this? I'd like Cosgrove to be able to articulate this. So she's like sending in shit that she wants Cosgrove to say in court. Why? Why does this person feel comfortable doing this? And here's more evidence. This is like more shit she's sending in. They were like investigating some hooker who was like extorting somebody. I called you yesterday to tell you about this hooker thing. Okay. Sounds like a real responsible employee. And here shows her like looking up car. I mean, this is what you have access to as a PI. You know, license plate information. Remember they called this conspiracy to commit witness intimidation when I did it? So she's just sending this shit out, etc. And what's this one? Sober. So they asked who's going to come on my panel, and I said it will include anyone who is sober and wants to help raise money for justice for John O'Keefe. Exactly. And he says, sober, you sniff your own shit and roll around in it. Reminds me on when my parents used to work at Danvers State. So, you know, he's an angry elf. But yeah, you know, we'll see. We'll see. All right. Anyway, back to this. Back to the Marty Kraft story. So let me pull up Howie's column here. The curse of Karen strikes again, his column says. See there, the curse of Karen strikes again. All right. So it says here, let's read this. The aftermath of the Karen Read murder trials is starting to remind me of what supposedly happened to all the looters who robbed King Tut's tomb in Egypt. The legend is that they all died horrible, premature deaths because of the ancient curse of the pharaohs. Remember all those mummy movies? It's been less than 7 months since the Karen Read got her second not guilty verdict, and her tormentors are all abruptly, painfully departing the scene. I'm so happy that Howie is like the biggest Karen supporter now, because it was a struggle. I tried to get Howie to jump onto this story initially on, but he did not. They were very weary of being sued. So when they would come on, they're like, you can't call the McAlberts this, you can't do this. And then after I got arrested, that all changed. He was like, oh, because he was a Turtleboy supporter. And so he's like, they're coming after Turtleboy. Well, maybe he's on to something, you know? Meatball Morrissey, Proctor, and the Canton Selectmen, the House defendants, everybody in the Canton PD, Commissioner Cox, Sean Good, Kelly Deaver, call it the curse of Karen Read. And now the curse is taking out parties with only tangential connections to the made-for-TV rip from TV headlines. The most recent Karen Read tormentor to go down is former BPD Sergeant Marty Kraft. His connection, he is or was a private eye. And sources say Kraft hired his former BPD pal, Brian Albert. The source of that, by the way, is Turtleboy. Turtleboy is the source of that. August 2024, I broke that story. Year and a half ago, Howie. After a body appeared on his lawn, and they all decided to pin it on the girl, Karen Reed. Albert immediately retired, sold his house in Canton, and fled. But he still needed a job, and there was his BFF, Marty Kraft, in his flourishing post-police career as a PI. Now, however, the curse of Karen Reed has reared its head once more. Kraft, the benefactor of the House defendants, has himself been struck down. The state police have pulled his PI's license, despite all the other things that he got the PI's license, despite 15 out of 16 complaints sustained. Like, that's crazy. When you go to his website, a big message pops up. Kraft Investigations is not accepting new cases at this time. His license was not renewed after a rather tawdry incident in Newburyport last July 2nd. The local cops were called to a residence by the male homeowner who was in the process of divorcing his wife. Okay. When the 911 caller returned to his home, his wife wasn't there. So the Newbury cops go to a residence where the male homeowner is there, and he's divorcing his wife. His wife is not there when the cops get there. But imagine his surprise when he discovered a fully loaded Sig Sauer P938 in his bedroom tucked under bedding. Yet you only get one guess who the firearm in a concealed leather holster belonged to. This from the Newburyport Police Department report. The husband's name, redacted, also pointed to sex toys. The husband pointed to sex toys on the bed, which he claimed were not his. The husband suspects that his wife had guests at the residence, I guess, who were unable to bring their own sex toys that are attached to their bodies. That's my sex toy. I don't need a sex toy. I am the sex toy. That's the thing about this. Apparently, Marty Kraft needs sex toys that are artificial because he doesn't have one attached to his body. And that's a real shame. I can't relate to that. I don't bring a sex toy. I am the sex toy. So he goes, and informed me that he discovered the sex toys underneath his bed. A loaded firearm in the bedroom with a bunch of sex toys stuffed underneath the bed in a house occupied by someone well known to the police department. The cops have been dealt with the owner a total of 75 times from 2020 to present. Marty Kraft, age 71. No wonder he needs a sex toy. Okay. And Marty Kraft, age 71, you got some splaining to do. By the way, Kraft lives in Mansfield. Karen Reed owned a home in Mansfield. I've been spending some time there myself. Nice town. I love the Catman Cafe. Big fan of Catman Cafe. Until she had to sell it to pay her legal bills. Funny how the crooked cops always seem to know who was stopping by Karen's house. Just saying. The crooked cops always knew who was stopping by Karen's house. That's interesting. You know? Exactly. There's the quote of the show. The full shaft. You got to have the full shaft loaded. You got to. Always loaded. You got to keep it loaded. You know? You never know when you're going to need it. So it goes on to say, do you know what I mean about the curse of Karen Reed? As a Boston cop, Kraft was famous, or maybe infamous is a better word, for always landing on his feet. I pulled the BPD internal affairs report, 21 pages. At one point, his father-in-law was Mickey Roach, the police commissioner, and he still got fired. He got his job back. Along with the police report, I'm going to post his entire BPD resume on my website, 𝗼𝗿𝗄𝗆.com. 15 of the 40 or so complaints against. Again, I reported this a year and a half ago about all this shit. Okay, but that's fine. That's fine. I like Howie, you know, is what it is. Here's a sampling of the complaints against Kraft. Some sustained, some not. Sergeant Kraft used the term, "I command you." Sergeant ignored direct orders and placed his handcuffs on the suspect. Sergeant Kraft continued to shout and swear as he walked away from the area, referred to clients outside as junkies. Kraft called his place of employment, telling the manager that he was a drug dealer. He was subsequently fired from his job. What the hell? All right. Kraft used excessive force upon his person, slamming his head against the plexiglass at the booking desk. He began to verbally insult her, made racially insensitive comments to him. Shocking. Sergeant Kraft responded, I don't give a fuck about internal affairs. When you get there, tell them I said, fuck them. Like, he does not give a fuck. And this is the kind of guy that hires Brian Albert. Like, this is the kind of guy, you know? And so on. You can see why he and Brian Albert were so simpatico. But in the end, just like Brian Albert, Kraft always skated, even after the assorted suspensions. After discovering the gun among the sex toys, the Newbury police charged Kraft with unlawful storage of a firearm. In district court, the clerk refused to issue a complaint. Oh, okay. And Kraft's run of luck seemed to be continuing into his golden years, so he did not get charged for that. But then the state police stepped in, and suddenly, because the state police licensed PIs, his PI's license was not renewed. The state police declined to comment on the record why they yanked his ticket, but I know why they did it. It's the curse of Karen Reed. But wait, it gets even weirder. Just as Marty Kraft was losing his license, I guess who decided to get a PI's license? None other than Brian Albert, Marty's one-time hired hand. As of October, Brian Albert has become the principal of his own private eye firm known as 𝗃𝗏 Consulting. Not a great name. He should have called it Butt Dials Are Us. Or maybe he'd brought in his butt dialing buddy, Brian Higgins. They could have called it Jameson and Ginger LLC. According to his license, Albert's new agency is based in Brockton at 1342 Belmont Street, Suite 104. Do you know who's upstairs in the same suite? None other than the ancient lawyer Kevin Reddington. That might be a coincidence. Who has been a lawyer for none other than 𝗃𝗏𝗄𝗏, the dentally challenged witness against Karen Reed, who lied repeatedly to the FBI without consequence. What a coincidence that one of the House defendants in the Karen Reed's civil suit would end up in an office in the same building as a lawyer for one of the House defendants. It doesn't get much more Canton than that. I called them for comment, but neither returned my calls, not even a butt dial. So whose house is this? So this is guy, I'm confused. So Marty Kraft is banging this guy's wife with sex toys and a gun? Is that what's happening? So the guy that owns the house in Newburyport is the one that called the cops because he's going through a divorce. And the cops get there and they find a loaded gun belonging to Marty Kraft and a whole bunch of sex toys. Again, what kind of man needs sex toys? You are the sex toy, my dude. You can do it, you know? I don't know. All right. Anyway, yeah, there's that. Be right back. I gotta take a leak real quick. Don't go anywhere. Hold on. Hold on. All right, we're back. I did wash my hands. Relax. All right. Anyway, let's do this. Wash your hands, you say. First of all, I did wash my hands. Second of all, I don't even use my hands. That's the thing. I'm very talented. All right, next. And I'm wearing sweatpants. I don't need to zip them up. All right, let's read some turtle chats here. Let's stimulate the conversation a little more. All right, we have here Ashley Marie P sends $10 and goes, I've been here from the jump. I'll be here till the end. Sending you all my support, Turtleboy. Keep up the positivity in the fight. You got this. Love from the 6. What's the 6? Toronto, Canada. Okay. Thank you, Toronto. Meadow Herb sends $10 and goes, put yourself first. Free Turtleboy. No, I can't. I refuse to center myself. I want to help others. That's what I want to do. I want to help others. So I'm going to do that. And it's not about getting anything in return. I don't want anything in return. I'm not doing this for any sort of prize. I'm doing this because it's the right thing to do. Okay? Nancy sends $5, goes, I think you're the best. Go Patriots. I hope it snows for the game. Well, thank you, Nancy. I appreciate that. I do too. Although it's going to be in Denver. Dude, bro. No, we don't want it to snow for the game. We want them to throw. We want like a finesse game. That's what we want. Cali Twin sends $35, goes, today was the memorial celebration in San Francisco for musician Bob Weir of the Grateful Dead. We want to send him love and heaven and peace and love to the deadheads out there all over the world. We've been deadheads for 35 years. What a long stream trip it's been. Life is precious. Be kind to one another and free Turtle Boy. Well, thank you so much, Cali Twins. I love you guys. NDF Farnsworth sends $25 and goes, Young Jelly has been so reprehensible throughout all of this and showed who he really is. But the big question is, why didn't he hold an auction last night for his superstar coffee mug from the Lifetime movie to bring in the big bucks? People would have given tons for the Easter egg movie prop. I have a lot of thoughts that I'm going to keep to myself. So thank you very much. Jill sends $50 and goes, from one doctor to another. And yes, it is Dr. Reed. Oh, I didn't know that. Why doesn't anyone ever call him that? Crawford has been allowed to weaponize the fundraisers. No way that dolt speaks for Karen Reed when she doesn't want our money. Karen doesn't know what he's saying. Exactly. That's what I mean. Run the fundraiser by Mark. Clearly, AJ wants peace, and you can bring it. Do one, be done. Invite Howie, Billy, Stephanie, Rotten Mango. I don't think I'm going to get Rotten Mango on there. Kelly Ripa, the Reeds, AJ, all the lawyers, your YouTube family, boots on the ground. No super chats. That's an easy one. I mean, how hard is it to turn off super chats during a fundraiser? That should be basics. I don't have super chats, so I can't relate. No Narcan. No one else streams it. Exactly. It's got to be one stream. I don't like the restream thing either. It's got to be one channel, period. One place. Do one. I mean, what is the purpose of other channels doing that? Like diluting the chat? I don't get it. Do one big one just for her. When she wins, you win. Then we all win. Stay positive. That approach benefits you. One way or another, my legal situation will end before Karen Reed's. That is one pretty much guarantee that mine will end before hers. So, she will not win, quote unquote, anytime soon. It's a long journey, So thank you. But at least she's not going to jail. Damara, and again, I said this on Turtle Club last night. First question I would have for Bill Reed is, what's it like to wake up every day and know that you will never have to visit your daughter in jail? Because I guarantee you, at some point that has crossed his mind, right? At some point he was thinking, and Karen has said this before too. I've talked to her about this. Like her biggest fear about jail is that she wouldn't be there when her parents died. That when her, because her parents are 75, life is not forever. If she gets sentenced to, let's say 20 years in jail, she's like, I don't know if I'd survive, with my condition and all this, but she'd probably survive. Unfortunately, that would be not unfortunately. That sounds right. Unfortunately, she would have to endure that, right? 20 years in jail. That would suck. And by the time she got out, the odds of both their parents being alive at 95 are slim. So that would be my that had to cross their mind sometime that they were going to visit their daughter in jail. So my first question would be, to make him more comfortable, how does it feel to know you will never have to visit your daughter in jail? That's like the kind of inviting, warm question. Or I could ask like, yo, what up with that gold chain? I could do that too. But I think I would start with that one instead. Because it's always been on my mind. Okay. Damaris, I think, sends $5, goes, Dr. Daddy, we love and appreciate you just as you are, but I'm looking forward to the 5-hour relapse stream when all the charges are dropped. Popcorn ready. Do you fix appliances in England? I might have to upcharge for that, but we'll see what we can make that happen. Okay. Next, Bethany sends $10, goes, I think a boots on the ground panel would be really impactful. They're going to have the coolest stories. I was there only one day and have the best memories. Invite them. Oh, we will, Bethany. I appreciate that. Kim from Texas, Bestus Mensch, sends $10, goes, Turtleboy, I think you'd love being monogamous if you found the right one. It just takes the right person. I've been with my hubby for 25 years and we are locked in. You could have that too. Love you and free the turtle. I don't know. Like I've been honest before. I'm like, I'm just really bad at monogamy, and I'm a horrible boyfriend. Like I'm really bad, and I'm honest about that. I'm like the worst. I'm not good at relationships. I'm just bad. So at least when you say that, the expectations aren't high, but and I'm bad because monogamy is a big part of a relationship. And clearly I've been really bad at that, so I gave it a shot. And it was just I think for monogamy to work, you got to match each other's sexual energy. You got to, if one person isn't matching the other person's sexual energy, it's just not going to work, and it means freaky, if you're in some nasty shit, you got to be into some nasty shit, you got to be into some fun stuff, fun. You got to have fun. So you've heard, we don't need to go over this again. Yeah, you've heard all about this again. You don't need to go over that again. But, maybe. But that's a big thing about it, Marriage and monogamy isn't for everyone. Exactly. When you can't get it up anymore, you'll sing a different song. There are drugs for that, dear. Everyone can get it up. It's 2026. Stop it. That's like saying if you don't have hair, you just buy hair. Ask BLT. You just go buy it. Oh, no, sorry. It's real. It's real. Oh, thank you for gifting 5 memberships. True crime in a minute. I really appreciate that. Very generous of you. And congratulations to the winners. I appreciate it. All right. Let's see what else people are saying. Cult Jam sends $5, goes, could Brian Albert be the only one who knows your locations because of his newfound PI privileges? Got me thinking. Thanks for the first one. No, it's actually much simpler than that. It's just somebody in my phone. That's all that is. Or whatever. It stopped recently, so that's good. That's good. Jessica sends $5, goes, hey there, Turtle Daddy. I'm pretty sure we are due for an update on all things Matthias, right? And what about your ex? Is she still tormenting you? I'm sorry you had to go through all that. Here's to much better, and I much love you. I'm not discussing the ex at all on here. That's what I said. Maybe one day. I did 3 streams on it, and I said my piece, and I got it off my chest. And if that necessitates a month and a half of more postings against you, then so be it. And a lot of low blows, but I do feel like it's I'm focused solely on my upcoming case, and that's it. That's it. I don't look in the past. I don't look in the past. I look in the future. That's what I say. Look in the future. So thank you. Next, Janelle sends $5, goes, the sex toys weren't for her, they were for him. Oh, okay, that explains a lot more. Love you, Turtle Boy. Thank you so much, Janelle. I appreciate that. Hey, whatever floats your boat there, Marty. Kim from Texas McMillan sends $10, goes, you're absolutely right. Sexual energy has to be matched. If you can't try something freaky with your spouse, then who else? Because eventually you're going to get tempted by that. That's the thing. It's like if you don't match your sexual energy with your partner, someone else is going to. And we're all human. And eventually they're going to be like, fuck it, whatever. It's just fun, Your partner is the best person to go anal or whips or chains with. Just saying, you didn't have to get that specific. You didn't have to get that specific. I've never been an anal guy, not at all. Because it's just not as fun. I don't know. It's just not, it's not meant to be, it's meant to be in the other one. And it's great. It's fantastic. It self lubricates. It's the tops. It's just the tops. And so not in the whips and chains, I understand some people are into that. Not me. No, I don't do that. I do other shit, but not that. Okay. But to each their own. God bless you. I don't judge, if you're into whips and chains, you better find someone into whips and chains. Just saying. All right. Let me read some Cash Apps here. Do we have any? I don't even know. Emily sends $5 and says, please show the class Jimmy and Jess's seance. That brought Daniel back as a werewolf. It is on Jess's live from Wednesday PM starting at 1:40. It is so good. I'm still laughing. That would be drama, and I will not be doing that. You can go to Jess's channel to watch that if you want to see the Nan seance. I made some comments yesterday on the stream about I just love hearing Nan talk. And so that's all I have to say about that. Larisha sends $25, goes, I sent an email to read to Turtleboy Sports. Okay, let me check my email from Larisha. And she says, fundraising idea. You need something unique, not the same ass crap. See below circled in fuchsia. See below and check out channel. The Garden State Tortoise Turtles need to be rescued. Do a fundraiser for homeless dogs and turtles. Half goes to pups. Okay. Definitely not. Appreciate that. Appreciate it, but I will not be doing a fundraiser for homeless dogs and turtles. Turtles are not turtles don't have homes. They live in the ocean. That's their home. They don't own property, Okay. All right, cool. I guess. Okay, that's unusual. Let me just refresh this, see if we missed any. No, we're good. All right. I think that's about it then, folks. A little Marty Kraft in there. A little, what else? Talking about the fundraiser. And did I stay away from drama? I feel like I did. I feel like I kept my card tonight. So there's that. Anybody else got any comments to read in the chat? Card, yes. Hey, where's the after party at tonight? Nice to see Jess Machado in the chat too. Where's the after party at tonight? Rat House Media, Ray from Dallas. Where are we chilling afterwards? Oh, the jury foreman. That's what I was supposed to get to. His interview. Fuck. Just go read my article on him. That guy's the balls. I love the jury foreman. That guy's the balls. Go listen to him. Fuck. Should we do the jury foreman? Let's do the jury foreman interview real quick. Actually, I want to go over this real quick. Okay, let's go over this. So I love this guy. Charlie DeLoach. This guy's so matter of fact. I love him. So he does an interview with Boston Magazine. This is the same guy who Krusty Panties called an Uncle Tom, not understanding what that word meant and why exactly it's so racist to post that. The guy, I was in court when I heard this guy, say not guilty 3 times. He would come to court every day in the summer with a hoodie on and a hat. This guy didn't give a fuck. And I didn't know what to think of him because he had no reactions whatsoever. But here's some takeaways. He said that seeing Karen Reed's taillight light up when it was put on the tow truck made him say, are we serious? I love that. Are we serious? Exactly. Because that didn't look like that later on. Like he sees that. He's like, are we serious? Like, he's like, are you punking us? I wish I knew what was going on in this man's head. Like I studied the jury during the trial. I couldn't tell what was going on in their head. They had no tells. He just sat there and he was just like, didn't take any notes, only one. Just sat there and listened. According to all the other jurors, this guy didn't give, like, this guy was like an encyclopedia of knowledge when they went to the deliberation room. And I agree with that. Like, and Karen said this in her thing with the rotten mango. Bigger, like, fuck the text messages. People get so caught up in the text messages with Proctor. The biggest thing with Proctor is he took the car at 4:15 and he lied about what time he took it. He said it was 5:30. That was by design. You don't do, that's not a Scrivener's error. That was by design, and the only reason to do that is you're up to no good. The reason you lie about what time you tow the car is so that you now say it's impossible for me to plant tail light. There is no other reason to lie about that. That is a much bigger and that is much more egregious evidence of framing Karen Reed than the text messages could ever be. The text messages show what a shitty person he is. That's it. Not what a scumbag cop he is. He was tempted to go on the internet during the trial. However, after the trial began, he began researching and was surprised what he found. So, like, I do find it fascinating how these people can all just stay off the internet. Like, that's crazy. He watched the first trial after the second trial was over and could see how the prosecution did not want to see certain witnesses. Like, that must be the coolest experience, watching the second trial and then going back and watching without watching the first. And then being like, whoa, look at all I missed. If you thought the second trial was exciting, wait till you see season 1. Season 1 was even crazier, bro. Joe Paul. I mean, look at the list of people. Joe Paul, Michael Proctor, Colin Albert, Brian Higgins, Brian Tully, Nicole Albert, Tristan Morris, Caitlin Albert, Julie Nagel. Rich Green, too, by the way, for the defense side. Like, it's crazy. So you missed so much fun. It was so much fun in the first trial. All right. He was not impressed by Judd Welcher or Shannon Burgess because none of them could explain how Karen Reed hit John O'Keefe with her car, and none of his injuries aligned with a motor vehicle collision. And he goes, where was the bruising on his legs? There was none. So yeah, he could have got clipped, but to sustain an injury that makes you hit your head that hard, well, you get a laceration of the skull. He's like, come on. I love this guy. He's like, come on, give me a break. Jesus Christ. He didn't factor Michael Proctor's texts into his decision. I mean, that's what the antis all wanted him to do. The antis were all like, yeah, he's a scumbag, but whatever. She still did it. And apparently that won the day in the jury room, as it should. You know? The jury believed that someone else hit John O'Keefe, but they didn't waste much time debating who killed him, proving once again that the defense strategy of focusing on who, not like that John O'Keefe, there was no collision. That was effective because they didn't go in there like, yo, so do you guys really think that guy killed him? In the first trial, they really tried to convince you that Brian Albert, Colin Albert, and Brian Higgins murdered John O'Keefe. That, like, Alan Jackson had a whole story about how it happened, his theory. And if you can, that's a big sell. It's much simpler to be like, bro, he wasn't hit by a car. So I don't know who killed him, but not my problem. Not my problem, pal. How about the Turtleboy question? Did Turtleboy help or hurt her case? His response. I didn't, again, notice he doesn't ask, like, did JFK help or hurt her case? How about Mike Crawford? Did he help or hurt? No, it's like we all know who was part of this story and who wasn't. I didn't know about Turtleboy until 2 weeks before the end of trial. Okay. But before the end of trial, that means he found out about who I was during the trial. And he said, I didn't know the impact of who he was. I wonder if it was like during the 𝗺cie Loughran interview that he found out who I was. You would have found out about Turtleboy in the first trial because I was mentioned several times by Jennifer McCabe and others. And they talked about witness intimidation, which was not brought up in the second trial. And so he goes, I didn't know the impact of who he was. And again, they told me about Turtleboy and I didn't look him up. So no, he did not affect this. Right. But it's interesting. He found out about who I was. I wonder who told him, you know, and he didn't look it up, but I bet you he knows now. He says the shadiest thing the McAlberts did was sell their house and get rid of the dog. I have to agree with that. There was a lot of shady shit they did. The butt dials. I mean, I list some of them here. Upgrading their phones, getting rid of phones at military bases, having cuts on your knuckles from falling in the ice, offering gifts to the lead investigator, blah, 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 blah. But the jury, correct me if I'm wrong, the jury in trial 2 never found out about any of that stuff, right? They never found out about Brian Higgins getting rid of his phone, right? I'm pretty sure they didn't. So he's like, yeah, the dog. I mean, that's what sold it for me. Who gets rid of the dog? He said the house is the bigger idea. I think the dog was. People sell their house. People don't get rid of their 6-year-old family dog. And thank you, 𝗄𝗄𝗃66, for donating those memberships. We graciously appreciate your generosity. Thank you. He voted not guilty because if there's no collision, there's no manslaughter. Thank you, Alan Jackson. Brilliant strategy. Worked out exactly as it should. We even wrote out the definition of everything. Reasonable doubt, manslaughter, OUI. We had all the definitions on the walls, so that anytime we got stuck, we could refer to them. And how has it affected your private life? I like this. He goes, you know, in his private life, you know, I mean, certain people, friends, family, coworkers, and their wives want to know my input on things. How did you feel about X, Y, or Z? But other than that, it was just an experience for me. Looking at the judicial system, I realized it only takes a couple of people and you can make anyone look guilty. Exactly. Lieutenant O'Hara was not in on any conspiracy to frame Kearney for murder. All those MSP criminalists were not in on any conspiracy to frame Kearney for murder. They just did their job. They were given taillight by the conspirators. O'Hara didn't find any taillight until the 3 random guys showed up that nobody knew the names of. So all it takes is a few. And, you know, that was an interesting comment. Looking at the judicial system, I realized it only takes a couple of people and you can make anyone look guilty. Exactly. And that's what they did. It only took a couple people, a couple House defendants. That's it. A couple corrupt cops. That's it. And then everyone else just goes, yeah, sure. Everyone else just does their job or doesn't question things. That's it. That's all it took. That's it. Even, how about the Canton police? 5 of them show up. Not one of them sees any taillight. Yet 12 hours later, all this taillight's there. And not one of those 5 cops was like, wait a minute. Back up. Say what? I was there earlier. There was no fucking taillight. What you talking about? None of them said that. None of them. Like, that's crazy. That just shows how it is human nature amongst a lot of people to just go, not rock the boat. Don't rock the boat. You know? That's all they did. Like, Lieutenant Gallagher was out there with his friggin' thing. He missed 45 pieces of taillight. But Gallagher is just so, like he made, he had been at the Canton Police Department for so long, he didn't give a fuck. He was just going through the motions, you know, doing his thing, collecting his pension when he, you know, making $300,000 a year, I think he was making, or something like that. So the guy was a great juror. That was a great jury. So much better than the first jury. So much better than the first jury. So anyway, I enjoyed that. So I'm glad we got to the juror interview. That was the topic of tonight's show. All right. Anyone else got anything to talk about here? He was the distractor. I love drama-free Turtleboy. I'm glad you guys like it on me. Who misses drama Turtleboy? Should we do that? Should we do a poll? Hold on. Okay, so 71% say I should do a Karen Reed fundraiser. Okay, it's decided. Let's do this one. Do you miss drama Turtleboy in the chat? Do you miss it? Or do you like the new and drama-free Turtleboy? Let's see what people say. Oh, it's close. We have 213 votes, and it's 58, 54, 57, 56. No is winning. No is winning with 300 votes in. Do you miss drama Turtleboy? Wow. I thought this was going to go the other way. I thought this was going to go the other way. 55-45 or no. You know? Because you would have lit JFK's ass. I mean, those guys, I mean, I could. It's just too easy. Sometimes it's just too easy. It's self-evident. It is kind of fun saying nothing. It is there is a certain amount of power that comes with saying nothing and just allowing other people to make fools of themselves. There is a certain, you know, whatever to that, you know. Yeah, like somebody says, I don't miss the drama with, you know, certain individuals, but you miss the rants. But I still do some rants. I will do, because drama-free does not apply to McAlvert supporters. It does not, they don't qualify. They have immunity from drama-free. I can rip, they didn't think they did. I can rip them apart till the cows come home. Doesn't count. All right. It is powerful, though. I'm enjoying the power that comes with just ignoring people. Not ignoring, but just not giving them what they want, you know, which is a prolonged reaction. It makes them crazier. It does. All right. Anybody else? Damn, this chat's going by fast. Holy shit. No drama vibe is sexy. Nice. I like that. I like the sounds of that. All right. I can't believe, bro. I mean, how about our luck? Go Patriots tomorrow, baby. So tomorrow is the day. 2:45, Patriots, Texans. Maybe I'll give you guys some daytime daddy tomorrow. We'll see. We'll see. I can't wait. Well, definitely not the whole game, but maybe later on. You know, we'll see. Man, this chat, I can't keep up with the chat. I'm trying to read the comments in the chat. It just goes by too fast. Is there another song? Oh, there is one more song that I agreed to play because they sent $50. So let me play it real quick before we call it a night. The Haas Long one.
To Turkey, how's long till they depose me? Let's all get our stories straight. It's Thanksgiving Day, the McAlvert way. Her name is Jen. Ooh, hey there, Jen. When she hears the ice cream truck, she runs. Run away, can she calls Carrie. Carrie's a talker to see if they came her way. Now here comes Nicole. Hey Nicole, that's Jen's sister. She likes to clean her house. She's so tidy, but has the face of Irish poverty. Those are my words. How's long to roast the turkey? How's long till they depose me? Let's all get our stories straight. It's Thanksgiving Day, the McAlvert way. And here comes Brian. Uh-oh, that's Nicole's husband. Poor thing, he's got a real bad temper. She's scared, but she loves him. 'Cause he can make calls with his ass. And There's Higgy, hey there Higgy, another guy who makes calls with his ass. So he's got a pocket full of SIM cards. He's headed to the junkyard. Open up your wallets this holiday. Make sure that the McAlberts get paid. What it costs to put your money toward the people who have no remorse. It's a McAlbert third party, and we party hardy. It's a McAlbert third party, and we party hardy. Oh yeah, oh yeah. And then there's Matt, but who cares about Matt?
All right. You know what I just thought of too? If the Patriots make the Super Bowl, no matter what, it will be a Super Bowl rematch against someone, won't it? The only three teams left in the NFC, we've all played them in the Super Bowl. Rams beat them twice. Seahawks beat them once. Bears got murdered in 1985. That's about it. So those are the three teams left that we could play if we make the Super Bowl. The Texans have never made the Super Bowl. So that would be cool for them, but I don't not this year. Maybe another year, not this year. Fuck the Broncos too. I always hate the Broncos. Never liked them. Sorry, Bronco fans. Let me see. We do have a couple turtle chats here, and they're nice ones. Sue Bone sends $25. Goes, in the UK, I forced my 13-year-old niece to watch the Lifetime movie last night, and even though she has tried hard to ignore me when I keep telling her about, quote, something going on in a place I've never heard of, when she saw the rolling rally and I told her you were facing 90 years in prison because of it, well, she put her phone down and started to watch. She was outraged, and she finally started to pay attention. Free doctor. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate that, Sue Me Bone. And I'm glad you got your niece into it. I'll be the judge sends 200 smackaroos. Give it up, party people! Thank you so much. It says $200 and says, you are successful because of your tenacity and passion. You are loved because of your honesty and your heart. The Wilbur was proof of both, and that drives the bad guys mad. Always free, Turtle Boy. You are so kind. I'll be the judge. That's so nice of you. So nice of you. So sweet. Party people. Thank you. Do we have any cash apps? Yes, I'm aware. Yeah, he does that. Yeah, that's a little tricky post. Very mature. Very mature. But at least he knows when my show's on, you know. Naomi sends $5 and goes, I'm going to do my best to be in Boston Friday. I'm hoping my girl Dina will be there super early too. Dina's always there. Dina's great. So thank you so much, party people. Okay. You know what? I'm going to call it a night. You guys have a wonderful one. And we will see you guys all for the next episode of Turtleboy Live, probably Tuesday. But if not, we'll see you guys all tomorrow morning or tomorrow afternoon, maybe, for the Patriots. All right? Peace to you, bum crease, folks. Out.
Top down, riding down Main, it's a clear night, screens glowing blue, got the facts in my headlights, Commonwealth tripping, but the truth stay calm. 𝗺𝗍 and 𝗼𝗲𝗃, I'ma read them like Psalms. KP throwing shade from a broke down porch, but the files in my lap like a flame to a torch. I don't raise my voice, I just let the game speak. Steady with the grind while the crooked run weak. We just riding slow, gliding, paper stacking in the breeze. Turn the system up, let the whole town see. No mask on my face, no fear in my lane. I'ma shine that light on the ones bringing shame. From the courtrooms down to the city blocks. They can't hide from the truth, cause the truth don't stop. We just ride a slow grind. Midnight oil burning, pen hit the pad slow. Every word cut clean like the rims on the 6-4. From Boston to Brockton, the whispers all hum. Turtle boys riding in the reckoning gon' come. Lally in the back room, 𝗺𝗍 on the phone. Trying to twist the narrative, but they can't postpone. I'm just sipping on the facts while the city play pretend. True, got no curfew, I'ma run it to the end. See, this ain't about fame, this about that long game. You can duck, you can weave, but the truth still call your name. We just riding slow, gliding, paper stacking in the breeze. Turn the system